It's your Division II National Showcase coming your way from just outside Hickory, North Carolina. We're at Lenoir-Rhyne for the game of the day in Division II football. It's two unbeaten teams, two top 15 teams with a conference championship on the line. Welcome into Moretz Stadium. What an atmosphere we have for you today. It is worthy of this game. Darren Goldwater, the two-time Super Bowl champ here, Trey Essex. This atmosphere tells you what you need to know how big this game is.
Right, it's November football, and the cream has risen to the top. There's no doubt about it. These two teams are the best in the SEC and two of the best in the country. Now the question is, do the Wingate Bulldogs have what it takes to knock the crown off the heads of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears to win this championship? We'll find out today.
My buddy over here played on the offensive line for the Steelers, won a couple Super Bowls doing just that. We're going to look at the trenches here because that's where this whole game resides. Connor Barron-Eunice, one of the best offensive linemen in Division II football.
Number 71, Mr. Barron-Eunice. He is everything you want in a guard. He's tough, he's nasty, and he is relentless. He is going to be doing his best to lead this troop of offensive linemen against this very stout defensive front from Lenoir-Rhyne, to get that running game going and to protect his quarterback to come through with a victory for his team.
That rest of the line key as well. This is a Wingate Bulldogs team that prides itself on moving the ball on the ground. However, the Bears come in as the 9th best rushing defense in all of Division II, and it starts up front with Artis.
Jaquan Artis, a.k.a. Artie, number 32. Coach Clark said great things about him this week. He said he's had a crazy year thus far. He's been crazy consistent, too. A half a sack in 16 straight games. He's going to be looking to get to that quarterback early and often in this game as well.
The Division II National Showcase is set. The atmosphere outstanding, and it's been this way since 2 hours before the gates even opened here. Lenoir-Rhyne hosting Wingate. It's coming your way next.
Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
It is 7 p.m.
We crushed Tech by 40. You should be out there celebrating.
Let me smell your breath. Not a trace of Dr. Pepper.
Look what you're doing to her.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Come into Longhorn Steakhouse for steakhouse cuts, like our one-of-a-kind 14-ounce Delmonico. Expertly crafted, fire-grilled, seasoned just right. With a steak this impressive, you won't think you're in a steak house. You'll think you're in a steak mansion. Hurry in for Longhorn Steakhouse Cuts, the mouth-watering New York strip, always popular Flo's Filet, and the limited-time 14-ounce Delmonico. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
If you're fans of Division II football, there is one place you should be. If you're not in this stadium, you should be right where you are watching this one as Lenoir-Rhyne hosts Wingate, a rematch of last year's playoff game. Lenoir-Rhyne beat them twice last year, and in the playoffs scored on a double reverse flea flicker with less than a minute to go on this field to end the season for Wingate. Trey, this is, as you put it not too long ago, this is the type of atmosphere that makes you want to strap on your pads and get back out there.
It doesn't happen very often. I'm very comfortable in my retirement, Darren, and not too many times do I get hyped for a game and get the urge to strap them back up. Today is one of those days. These guys are ready to get after it. It's going to be a battle. There's going to be won or lost in the trenches, my type of game. And look at this weather. This weather is absolutely amazing. 60 degrees, sunny. We're going to see a lot of sweaty linemen today. They're going to have everything they need in this game going forward. So I'm excited.
A Bears win will clinch at least a share of the conference championship. A Wingate win sets them up for that. They'd still need one more. Here's a short kick and a big-time hit coming downfield. Miles Jackson gets the crowd into it right away, but it'll be good field position for the Bulldogs.
Special teams hits, those are the type of hits that get guys going. They're trying to set a tone early. That was a big hit. Neither one of these teams will have an issue getting hyped for this game. And we're going to see it first with the Wingate offense, see what they can do.
Shaw Crocker has 17 wins under his belt as a starter. Only a sophomore. Last year was the first redshirt freshman to start under his coach Joe Reich in 19 years coaching. And they will start on the ground with Niger Peoples, a big, bruising running back who carries some of the Lenoir-Rhyne defense for a pickup of about 5.
You mentioned, we saw him on the sideline. He has what I would describe as thunder thighs. They're really big. Kind of reminds you of your running back from Penn State, now with the Giants, Saquon Barkley, with those humongous legs, able to carry people with him to the line. He showed it on that first carry.
Joe Reich said Monday night was his best practice of the year, getting set for this game. Second down, the inside of the line jumps, and Peoples goes right at him. They're going to get 5 yards anyway. Trey, even though they're giving up 5 yards, that artist takedown right there keeps this crowd into it in the opening play.
Right. I mean, he finished the play, even though they had a penalty, and they're going to end up giving him a first down. Didn't stop him from finishing that tackle.
Wingate is typically one of the most heavily penalized teams.
No matter.
This one goes against Lenoir-Rhyne. Dan Luba, a second-team all-conference member last year.
That's what happens when you get hype in these games. You get a little antsy, trying to get off on the snap. And just an early get off up front, 5 yards. You never want to give a team their first down, but that's what happened with the Bears defense.
This Bears defense is without their star player, Kyle Duggar, who is projected to be a second, maybe third-round draft pick, safety or a linebacker. He's not playing today, and that's where he would have been. It's where B.J. McElveen goes. A first down to the 33.
Eric Jackson coming over to one of the guys tasked with taking Duggar's spot right there. A little late over the top on the coverage. McElveen was able to pull that in. Great pass by Crocker, throwing it down the seam, right on target. Little play action to get the guy open, and huge first down, and the Bulldogs are on their way, already in scoring territory.
Crocker's completion percentage isn't great, but he doesn't make many mistakes. And they hit on the home run ball quite a bit. Underneath, Raekwon Simmons out of North Charleston, South Carolina. That's his first reception in 3 weeks, and it gets 7 yards.
So far, 2 runs and 2 passes. We said coming into this game that that's what they would have to do. The Wingate Bulldogs would have to open up the pass game, get Shaw Crocker going early with some easy completions right there. And that right there is an example of what their game plan needs to be going forward. They're missing their superstar on defense, we mentioned. They're going to need to attack that spot specifically in order to see if the Bears have what it takes to make up for the loss in Kyle Duggar.
We'll check on this.
See, those penalties right there, those pre-snap penalties are the ones that drive coaches crazy. You could deal with holding, you could deal with personal fouls. Those are just effort, sometimes too much effort. But the pre-snap penalties, lack of focus, especially when you're in the midst of a good drive, coaches hate those.
Here's Niger Peoples turning upfield, running through the second level. 35, Clayton Horn finally takes him down. It's another first down here for the Bulldogs.
You got a guy like Niger Peoples who is running the ball like that, tough, off-guard play right here. Nothing fancy, zone play. He reads it, puts that foot in the ground, goes upfield, and takes about 3 or 4 Bear defenders with him to pick up that first down, making up for that penalty they got on the previous play.
Quite the opening drive for Joe Reich, the brother of Frank, the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Here's Peoples, Quentin Hayes, number 41, the defensive end, the first one out there. But you know what, Trey? Peoples hasn't gone down or come close to going down on the first hit yet.
No, he's coming in here and running the ball with an attitude. Right there, he got tackled. First contact was around the line of scrimmage. He was still able to muster 3 yards out of that run. They found something they like off the right side of that line. We're going to talk about their offensive line a lot today, both sides, my type of game. But that right tackle, Andrew Strickland, who's had a great camp and a great season thus far, leading the way for Niger Peoples in that play.
The Bears defense as good as the Wingate offense in terms of defending the red zone. They'll fake the jet sweep. They come with their second running back, Dom McNeil, and he puts the pads down and gets very close to a first down.
A little bit more shiftier of the two backs, but he runs right inside where Nigel was. Good hole right there that McNeil takes advantage of, gets up in that defense, just stopped short of the first down, but tough run again, and you can see their game plan. They want to go right at this defensive line of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. That's the strength of this defense, especially with Duggar being out. They got to rely on this defensive line, and Wingate's going right at their strength.
Seventh play of this drive. McNeil stays up after Hayes gets him, and he's down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down and less than a yard.
I don't think there's any doubt about this. If this happens not to be a first down, I don't think Coach Wright is going to hesitate with sending a message early that we're going to go for this. My offensive line is better than your defensive line. My running back is better than your linebackers. We can get a yard.
Drew Cronick has turned around this Lenoir-Rhyne program seemingly overnight. He took over after back-to-back years well below 500, and he is 20-2 as the head coach here. Last year's National Coach of the Year on the Division II level, obviously the Conference Coach of the Year as well.
We had a great interview with him this week. We asked him, did you expect this type of stuff? He was like, no. Like, if you told me that I would be 20-2 coming into this game, back when I took the job, I would call you a liar. But obviously he's doing something right. And he recognizes that a few good bounces have come his way, but he has a good group of kids, and he's leading them in the right direction, and they're really following his lead.
They're going to load the backfield with the fullback Sam Hayes, one of the tight ends here, and Peoples, who goes straight ahead, and with the second effort, may have gotten it.
It's going to be close. Oh, I love it. This is what you want as an offensive lineman, as anybody who loves the game of football in these type of big-time games, November football. Fourth and short, give it to your big guy who's been running, and that's right there. The Lenoir-Rhyne Bears stop him short. Number 35 beats him in the hole. Clayton Horn, mano a mano, takes on Nigel Peoples in the hole. 1 yard. And who wins? Number 35 for Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. Stands him up and waits for the cavalry to come. Stops him short of that first down. Huge play for this Bears defense.
Four-year starter who was terrorizing the Bulldogs last year. 13 tackles in one of the two games. So now Grayson Willingham and the Lenoir-Rhyne offense. If you haven't seen the Bears play, you haven't seen anything like this. This is Amin Stevens. And he's caught from behind and wrestled down inside of the 20.
Well, isn't that a way to start for this Bears offense? Right off right guard. Look at this. Got a right guard and tight end coming and pulling in the hole. And my man, number 45, Amin Stevens, runs right up in there, gaining big yardage on first down.
70 yards for him. Now to the air, and Derek Young is wrapped up quickly there by Elijah Gilmore, number 4. One of the best inside linebackers, according to Joe Reich, that he's had in 19 years with the Bulldogs.
We're talking a lot about how this offensive line and this offense gives so many looks to a defense, get them off guard. And that first play, that big running play by Amin Stevens, they had a little motion go to the outside and pull the tight end inside, and the right guard caved down the D lineman, opening up that big hole for Stevens to run through. Beautiful play design. And Stevens takes advantage.
And now a timeout on the fields. What a start to your Division II National Showcase. Moret Stadium is jumping, and the Bears are threatening.
Coming in like a champion. Running like a legend. Heartbeat pounding deep.
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
This telecast is presented by the NCAA Division II President's Council. Welcome to NCAA Division II, where the pursuit of excellence is yours to create. In Division II, student athletes excel academically, athletically, and in the community for life after graduation. The opportunities are endless. Make it yours. Trey, how about the opening play from scrimmage for the Bears?
Like I mentioned before, beautiful play design to start this. And not really a fancy play, but they do a good job of executing it, bringing the tight end around to block the linebacker, opening up a huge hole.
Here's
for Mr.
Ryan
Stevens.
Carter now trying to get to the outside, but this Wingate defense, well, it's the strength of the Bulldogs as well. They're giving up fewer than 18 points a game. They're giving up less than 290 yards a game. That's a top 20 mark in Division II football.
Strength on strength. Iron sharpens iron, and we saw with the opening drive in Wingate, they're going to go right at the strength of the Bears, and the Bears going to do the same to Wingate.
All the motion, all the really window dressing, as you hear the coaches describe it, and Stevens is knocked down what looks to be about a yard shy of the first down.
And that's exactly what it is. It's just window dressing. You see the offensive lineman motioning, not really motioning, but shifting right before the snap. And it's not doing anything but trying to confuse this defensive line and unbalance the offensive line to give themselves an advantage.
The Bears will go for it on fourth down, just as the Bulldogs did on their opening possession when they were deep in Bears territory. Willingham gets it this time. It's first and goal for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Nothing fancy about that. Just goes and hugs himself right up against the back of his center. Ronnie Clifton, number 73, takes the snap. He just lets his right guard and center lead the way for him, picking up that yard to get that first down.
Drew Cronick described this offense as the old wing tee meets Oregon. Just wrap your head around that. Inside handoff, and Jaquay Mitchell's first touch of the game maybe nets a yard.
It's a lot of misdirection, but then they go back to what you would call like a standard offense from time to time as well too. But it's a lot for a defense to game plan for during the week. But Wingate has seen it the last 2 years. Their third time seeing it since Coach Cronick has taken over, and they seem to have a pretty good bead on where the ball is being handed off, at least so far in the game.
Look at the line shift over to the right. And it's a timeout for the Bears.
Timeout, Lenoir-Rhyne. That's their first charge timeout.
Boy, they just got that timeout in.
They did.
Moret Stadium hoping for the go-ahead score midway through the first quarter, your Division II National Showcase.
Come into Longhorn Steakhouse for steakhouse cuts, like our one-of-a-kind 14-ounce Delmonico. Expertly crafted, fire-grilled, seasoned just right. With a steak this impressive, you won't think you're in a steak house. You'll think you're in a steak mansion. Hurry in for Longhorn Steakhouse Cuts, the mouth-watering New York strip, always popular Flo's Filet, and the limited-time 14-ounce Delmonico. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
For all the latest news, stats, rankings, and more, visit NCAA.com. NCAA.com is the official online home for all 25 NCAA Division II championships. I was on NCAA.com earlier today to get ready for this one, checking out the national ranks for both the 7th-ranked Bears and 12th-ranked Bulldogs. This is the second possession of the game. The Bulldogs turned it over on downs inside of the 20-yard line of the Bears. And now Lenoir-Rhyne has set up second down and goal. Willingham lobs it. It's caught, but short, and the ball is out and now ruled incomplete as Davion Washington dislodged it.
It was close. You always wonder when they count as a catch right here. Nice little play right here. Gets his tight end in the flat. He catches it, turns, and right there, right on contact. He never quite had a hold of the ball. Good call by the ref. Number 2, Davion Washington dislodges the ball. Good play on second down.
Fullback Stevens back in here, but Willingham drops on third down into coverage and nearly intercepted. Right into and then through the hands of Gabe Price, the 5th-year senior from Winston-Salem.
They tried a little over route right here by number 13, but he gets completely knocked down on the route. Tries to get back up and make a play. Good job by the linebacker from Wingate, knocking the receiver down during his route, and he just throws it up blindly, and that was about as easy of an interception as you get. Gabe Price will have nightmares about that play.
That was quite the risky throw. Chase Allball finishes off the drive with a 21-yard field goal. The drive that started with a 70-yard run straight up the gut for Stevens. And then the Bulldogs defense stiffened. The Bears with the early lead.
Come into Longhorn Steakhouse for steakhouse cuts, like our one-of-a-kind 14-ounce Delmonico. Expertly crafted, fire-grilled, seasoned just right. With a steak this impressive, you won't think you're in a steak house. You'll think you're in a steak mansion. Hurry in for Longhorn Steakhouse Cuts, the mouth-watering New York strip, always popular Flo's Filet, and the limited-time 14-ounce Delmonico. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Division II provides more than 119,000 student athletes with the opportunity to compete at a high level of scholarship athletics while excelling in the classroom and through community engagement. Learn more about Division II's Life in the Balance philosophy at ncaa.org/D2. So the Bears do what the Bulldogs could not. Points on their opening drive as both defenses stiffen in the red zone. Two programs with long winning streaks colliding. Wingate has won 14 straight regular season games since Lenoir-Rhyne knocked them off in the regular season last year. These Bears have won 18 straight in the regular season. They've won 11 straight in this building. And they lead early on here midway through the first.
That last drive has to be considered a victory for this Wingate team. After they gave up that 70-yard run, you thought that the Bears were going to score, but Wingate stiffened up, only gave up 3 points.
Bears are hesitant to kick it deep to Raekwon Simmons, one of the faster players in the South Atlantic Conference. They have twice kicked it high, short, and right. And twice the Bulldogs have started out across their own 30-yard line.
Wingate doesn't need to do anything different. They had a lot of success moving the ball on that first drive with the combination of Peoples' legs and Crocker's arm. I'd imagine they can get Crocker going a little bit more in the passing game because he had some success with those 2 completions on that first drive.
They go with the play fake, and it is out of the reach of B.J. McElveen. That ball was out of Crocker's hands before McElveen came out of his break.
Yeah, the timing was just off. You hit that back foot and you let the ball go, but McElveen did not get out of his break fast enough to see the ball. He spent too much time at the top of that route trying to sell it instead of just sticking that foot in the ground and coming back.
Crocker, the son of his high school head coach. Here's Don McNeil, but he can't get to the outside. How about that pursuit from Artistry? You've loved him all week long.
Artie, you cannot put a tight end on this man and expect him to have a successful block. They had Mason Flint trying to block him man on man, and 32 wasn't having it. Artie breaks free of that block and takes down Peoples for a loss on the play. You beware when you go to the number 32 side. You need more than a tight end. You need a left tackle or maybe even a fullback to block that man.
Third and 15. Crocker trying to change the play, and it is loud in here. Bears spring 5 underneath. It's Jalen Brooks, and Brooks with the extra gear has the first down as he's out of bounds 2 yards shy of midfield. That's a gain of 20.
That's just something this defense does not give up. Long third down plays. And right here, you just see Brooks turn on the jets, outrunning the defense to get leverage on the outside and pick up that first down. Huge play between Crocker and Brooks on what looked like a for sure turnover on downs when it was 3rd and long.
Maybe movement on Baron Eunice, 71.
Again, 3-snap penalties.
Full start on the offense, number 71. Penalty 5 yards, remains first down.
Can't have them. Not against this defense. You just picked up a huge 3rd down, and you really hate to see your leader, number 71. It happens to the best of us, but you gotta hold your water, big man. Gotta hold your water.
Only senior on the offensive line. He is also excelling in the classroom. He's a semifinalist for the best football student athlete in all divisions of NCAA football. Crocker got it to Brooks, who takes a shot from behind. Marcus Rosser put a shoulder into him, but it'll move the chains again.
I don't think you guys understand how great of a throw that was. Look at that. It's a square of defenders, 4 guys surrounding Brooks, and Crocker throws it right in there. Give credit to Brooks as well, because he takes a shot in that back and he holds onto the ball, catches the ball with his hands, brings it into his body to protect it, and holds on to that after a penalty on the previous play. It was a great hookup.
Here's McNeil. He spins off the initial hit, and it's Eric Jackson out of Porter Goud, the private school in Charleston, South Carolina. The safety's up to make the play, a gain of 4.
Good run by McNeil to even get that much. He had 2 guys in the hole waiting on him. Shows a nifty spin move to break out of those tackles and get outside to pick up the yardage.
Remember, no Kyle Duggar, the all-everything safety for the Bears. One of the best safeties on the draft board for NFL teams. And that's a fact, even though he's playing here at Lenoir-Rhyne. McNeil with the change of direction. Milliken won't let him go. It's a gain of 1 and 3rd down.
Great tackle by Milliken. Bill already showed him previous play that he can break the arm tackles, and he tries to do the same thing again, tries to get outside and get leverage and pick up some yardage, but Milliken was not having it, wraps him around the waist and brings him down, only giving up minimal yardage. Could have been a lot bigger play if he does not bring him down on that play. You see right now what number 32 is going to do. Lined up 3rd down, this is his specialty.
Bears rush 4. That's on the money to Raekwon Simmons, and they've converted their second third down of this drive.
And unlike the first passing play where they could not hook up on the deep out route, Crocker right here plants that back foot, and right there he's right in sync with Raekwon Simmons on the out to pick up that first down yardage. Great timing, great route by quarterback and receiver.
2 third down conversions on the drive, their first 2 of the game. This is their second drive. They stalled out around this spot on the field, turning it over on downs early in the quarter. Play fake, jump ball is dropped. There were 2 Bulldogs in the area, Ryder Martin and Mason Flint, and Martin couldn't catch it.
Well, somebody messed up. I don't know who it was, but 2 tight ends in the same vicinity, that should not happen, and they still had a chance to bring it in for a touchdown, and I don't know how many more opportunities Ryder Martin's going to get for that.
Design run here for Shaw Crocker. And he lunges out after Luba got him by the ankles. We got third down again.
You're right. Got him right by the ankles, because if he does not get him, that hole had opened up like the Red Sea. He was going to get into the end zone. And Luba brings him down the last minute to bring up this third down. They've already picked up a couple of third downs. A third down to 15 earlier, and a third down to 7 prior to this. So they're fully capable of doing it. Let's see if they're going to put the ball in the hands of Crocker to make a play.
Bears showing pressure. Here they come. Muckelveen can't bring it in. Made that cut in front of Marcus Rosser, and it's 4th down.
And again, the difference between Muckelveen and Simmons right there. Muckelveen did not come out of his break sharp. Same play to the other side to a different receiver, plants that back foot. You see how he rounds it on that out route instead of just coming out and making a beeline for the sideline? That was the difference in that play. They were able to complete it before, not able to be successful on that one there.
McLean Robertson is 10 out of 14 on the year. This is from 31, and he just squeaks it through. 2 of the last 14 unbeaten teams in Division II football are tied 3 here late in the first quarter.
They're going at it. Both playing the brand of bend, don't break type defense, giving up big plays, and Wingate able to sustain drives, and Lenoir-Rhyne on their first drive able to get a big play from Stevens. But once they get down in the red zone, these defenses have stiffened up, and they have not allowed the other offense to get into the end zone. So great starts by both teams. They know what they can do successfully offensively, and it just hasn't been able to result in a touchdown just yet.
These 2 teams are the last 2 teams to win the South Atlantic Conference. Lenoir-Rhyne last year, Wingate 2 years ago. A Lenoir-Rhyne victory today clinches at least a share. Wingate has played 1 fewer conference game already, so they would still have some work to do to clinch at least a share if they can win this one today. And the reason it's unbalanced, UNC Pembroke is a Division II independent football team, but the Braves of UNC Pembroke essentially play an SAC schedule.
See the separation between these 2 teams and the rest of the league. Obviously the class of this league last year as well.
Robertson blasts this one halfway deep. And the second time for this Bears offense to take the field under the direction of Drew Cronick. Cronick came here after a very successful run as the offensive coordinator of Furman in the Southern Conference, the Division I FCS program. And he brought with him Bob Bodine, who has experience running the option at the Citadel, at Georgia Southern, up at West Point. And Cronic has kind of blended what he knows about the offense with what Bob Bodine knows. And it's unbelievable how they've turned this around. Here's Tate Beaver's first carry of the day. That's going to get 6.
And I won't get tired of talking about number 64, Lenoir-Rhyne. Jason Poe, their right guard, their stalwart on the offensive line, the former fullback, pulling around the edge, leading on that run play. Coach said he is the best pulling guard he's ever had, and he showcased it on that play.
Wobbling ball, the duck intended for Tariq Young, and it'll be 3rd down. Trey, how many variations are on this card here that Chronic's flipping around?
Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. What? You talking about the card itself, or just how many different?
Are there more than what he's looking at?
There probably is. He probably has a wing T card, a flex bone card, a West Coast card. He blends a myriad of offenses. They've all worked out.
Nice ball right at the sticks. That's going to be good for a 1st down. Jaquay Mitchell's first reception of the day. And Lenoir-Rhyne converts on 3rd down.
Nothing fancy about this. Gets his receiver out in the flat. Jaquay Mitchell, their best playmaker at the wide receiver position. Gets him in some space and get the ball in his hands. Get him able to run after the catch. He can do some good things and picks up the 1st down on that.
You never see the same formation twice. Not twice in a row. Here's Mitchell now trying to find a little bit of a lane to run and somehow picks up 4 yards there.
You see, they do the half motion. You see the guy coming full speed, stops, goes back to the line of scrimmage, and then they run that way. It's very unique, very cool looking actually. I like what Coach Cronic has done with this offense, and I know these kids are having fun with learning these new type of plays, and it keeps them on their toes. They really have to be in their playbook and really got to pay really close attention to detail.
Trying to get to the edge here, the first time that Gunnar Anderson has taken a snap. You know, it's Hayden Mann, the redshirt freshman who came in to take that snap.
Got 2 pulling linemen on this play in front of Gunnar. Leading the way, Poe on the front side, Heidinger on the left side, getting out in front on the edge, and it shows you how athletic these offensive linemen are. We're going to be able to get out in space and pick up blocks against these smaller defensive players.
Officials timeout because the chains hadn't yet moved. And the chains moved, and now they've got to go back because
it's not a 1st down.
It's not a 1st down. The 45 is the line to gain. And Amin Stevens does that and then some. 98 Isaac Allen around the waist as the Bears move the chains with about 30 seconds left in the quarter.
So unique that they motion or they shift their offensive line, but all they do is have an offensive lineman who's normally playing left guard start out at right guard before the play, and then he just moves back to his natural position. But that little bit of movement causes a little bit of hesitance in the defensive line and the linebackers, so they're able to get leverage on their blocks.
Here's an option look. Mitchell is caught from behind. Elijah Gilmore, senior out of Sandy Creek High School in Georgia, able to track him down.
So we've seen some veer, we've seen some option, we've seen some toss, we see some short pass routes. We've seen quite a bit in this 1st quarter from this offense already, and I'm sure we're going to see quite more from this offense and Coach Cronic.
Entertaining 1st quarter. Wingate, Lenoir-Rhyne tied at 3. An opportunity to clinch a share of the championship for the Bears.
As your life grows, so do your needs. And with Bank of America and Merrill, the benefits you get can grow too. As a preferred rewards member, you can enjoy priority service and exclusive discounts. So your growing life can be more rewarding too. What would you like the power to do?
Not only is the score tied after 15 minutes of play, both teams have exactly 113 total yards. The South Atlantic Conference is actually relatively new. 1975, there's 11 full-time members. You've got South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee represented, and 20 teams that compete for Division II championships. This is that Bears defense, which has done very well once they have gotten their backs up against the wall, twice stiffening in the red zone, giving up just a field goal and turning over the Bulldogs on downs. But as we start the second quarter, it is the Bears. 8th play of this drive, it's gone 30 yards so far. Wingate has this pursued well, not a whole lot of room for Jaquay Mitchell, and he is upended there by Robbie Wallace, the captain, number 10.
Just enough to get the first down. Good job by Grayson Willingham to stretch that out for as long as possible before he pitches the ball. Able to get just enough yardage to get past the first down sticks.
Every defender is within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage. Willingham takes a shot. Mitchell's there. Touchdown Bears. 41 yards from Willingham to Mitchell. And Lenoir-Rhyne leads it 9-3.
Wade Mitchell, right up the middle. Great protection by this offensive line. Willingham has all day to let loose. Right there, he just beats number 19, Mario Johnson, at the safety position on a seam post route. Good job by Mitchell to take the top off the defense, and good job by Willingham to find him.
10-3 game, the Bears on top as they try and run their regular season winning streak to 19 consecutive games.
Willingham again with the big top, 10-3 to start this second quarter.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
Unmatched passion, unrelenting power. This trophy is not given, it must be earned. The NCAA Division II Football Championship, December 21st at McKinney ISD Stadium in McKinney, Texas.
Touchdown! Unbelievable catch!
Visit ncaa.com/tickets to get your tickets today.
great scene here at Lenoir-Rhyne all day long. Connect with Division II Athletics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow along, join the conversation as the NCAA promotes national champs in 25 Division II sports. Well, they knew it would be this type of an atmosphere here. Wingate is only about an hour and a half drive from here. Fans were here really filling two of the parking lots before I showed up, 2.5 hours before the game. And that's a rarity. And it's as good of an environment as you can find in Division II football. A sold-out Moret Stadium, standing room only. And it's the Bears who are on top because of the big play. They've got two big plays today. A 70-yard run and a 41-yard pass. It has led to all 10 points. Fair catch signaled for, and here's the whistle. That's a rule that you don't see very often, but it was implemented last year, so they're going to get the ball out at the 25.
Right. You can tell by the sound of the fans, they don't quite know the new rule yet, but no worries. A lot of fair catching inside the 25-yard line, an effort by the NCAA they actually do it in the NFL as well, too. I didn't realize that. An effort to calm down on the contact issues on kickoff and kickoff return that made some of these head injuries that have been frequent on those type of plays.
Trey Shaw Crocker has been great. He's hit 5 of 8, but we knew, and both coaches stressed, the big play is going to be important. Who can make it? Who can hit more?
Right. And Shaw Crocker has looked really good, and two of the passes weren't even his fault. His wide receiver just didn't get out of his break fast enough.
And that wasn't Crocker. That was Darquez Lee. This is just his 5th game that he's played this year, and he rears back and fires a first down completion.
And the backup quarterback coming in and throwing on the first play. The 6'1", 225-pound senior out of Shelby, North Carolina. They didn't waste any time getting him warmed up into this offense. No handoffs on the first play. Nice little deep out completion.
Here's Niger Peoples now, and he slips off the first hit and then tumbles over Eric Jackson. Jackson went low, and Peoples is slow to get up.
The way Peoples has been running, that's what defenders have to do to get him down. And it does open yourself up to some lower extremity type injuries. Let's hope he's okay. But Eric Jackson, he's been all over the field already with 5 tackles. That's his 5th one in the second quarter.
Shaw Crocker appears to be fine, if you're wondering. He's standing, holding his helmet on the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs. Here's Darquez Lee, gets a nice block there, and is taken down from behind just shy of the sticks.
He dropped fast, didn't he? You saw there was a little bit of an opening right there. A good block by his running back. Then number 11, Eric Jackson again, coming over the top of the pile and taking the quarterback down. There he is. Eric Jackson's been very active in the early portion of this game. Already with his 6th tackle. It stops the quarterback short, picking up the first down, and another 3rd down situation for this Wingate offense.
I'm surprised that this is not a first down. The ball is at the line to gain.
I don't know that. 3rd and 1, I know Niger Peoples had a little bit of a leg issue right there, and I know earlier in the game you wonder when they got stopped on the 4th down if that gave him some hesitance to go for it or not run the ball on 3rd and short situation. But for whatever reason, they decided to go with the play action, and the Bears do a good job of getting pressure on Darquez Lee and forced that incomplete pass.
I'm telling you, I'm still surprised it wasn't a first down, and it was 3rd and inches and then 4th and inches.
At minimum, they should have measured it, and they did not. I guess maybe they're using the sticks on this. No, there's only one set of sticks. Yep. So, yeah, I'm with you, partner.
And there was no argument from the Wingate side either. So they take out their captain, Shaw Crocker, in favor of Darquez Lee. And it was the first time today that they didn't move the football.
Yeah.
They had gotten into the red zone on their first 2 possessions.
Well, he did get a first down on his very first play, but other than that, they did not sustain a drive. In the first 2 drives, they got deep into Lenoir-Rhyne territory. Not on that drive, though.
Stevens trying to ride some of his blockers to get to the outside, and it is popped by Gilmore.
And that is not his forte. He is not an outside toss type running back. He is strictly in between the tackles. He has most of his success on dives and inside zone plays, and obviously he's their short yardage specialist, so no surprise he did not have a lot of success on that outside zone toss play.
Option here, Mitchell's the pitch man, and he's able to get to the outside and turn the corner for a couple. Cam Johnson, the graduate student out of Durham, put a shoulder into him. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5. Give him 4.
Third option play to the left. They've been able to pick up decent yardage on that play, with Mitchell and Willingham running to the outside and pick up a good chunk on that play to make this 3rd down a little bit more manageable.
Trey, are those guys just decoys down there, those quarterbacks signaling in signs?
Yeah. Usually they got like 3 or 4 guys just throwing all types of signs just to make sure, especially against a common opponent like Wingate, who watches film and tries to pick up on signals.
Willingham under pressure, floats one away as Jordan Anderson puts Willingham on his back for the first time today.
It's a great response by this Wingate defense. Big number 97, Jordan Anderson, 6'1", 275 pounds of angry, going after Willingham, forcing that incomplete pass. Big man is hype on the sideline, gets his defense off the field and gets the ball back to his offense. Good job, Mr. Anderson.
That had an opportunity to be a big momentum swing, with Wingate unable to get down into the red zone for the first time, quickly giving it back to the Bears. But the defense stood tall for the Bulldogs.
First 3 and out of the day.
And the fair catch is made here for Wingate. They'll start just shy of their 40. That's what Joe Reich told us this week. He said oftentimes our defense has picked us up when our offense has been less than consistent.
And we got Crocker back at quarterback. We wonder if there's maybe something going on injury-wise as to why.
Timeout on the field. 10-3.
There is someone walking behind you. Turn around. Look at me. There is someone. Look at me.
Between the bricks at Moret Stadium, you've got some students even hanging over the bricks. It's December 21st at McKinney ISD Stadium in McKinney, Texas. Tickets will be available at ncaa.com. Shaw Crocker, the redshirt sophomore captain, after sitting last series, back in there. Dom McNeil hits that hole lightning fast and picks up 6 yards. Ivan Milliken there to stop him.
Right in between that left tackle and left guard, that was a good kickout block by left tackle Zy Simpson, and left guard Xavier Kelly was able to pin the defensive tackle, open up that hole for McNeil to sprint through, and he did burst through that offensive line.
Wingate still with fewer than 50 yards on the ground. That just cleared 40 yards on that run, but they're going to back them up again. 3rd penalty of the day on the Bulldogs.
Zy Simpson and Mason Flint.
Full start. On the offense, number 85. Penalty 5 yards. Remains second down.
So they had a double team set up between the left tackle and tight end on that play. You could tell he had that right angle on that defensive end where Mason Flint got a little excited to come off on that block. A little bit too early, but that's their third pre-snap penalty. And it's already cost them dearly. They've been able to pick up first downs afterwards, but those type of penalties set back offenses.
Here's Dom McNeil planting the foot and turning uphill directly into the strength of the Bears defense. Quentin Hayes like a wall. It's third down.
Because of that penalty, instead of a third and short, we have 3rd and 6. They've picked up third down quite a few times already, and right there, you see the runs to the teeth of that defense from the Bears. Houston, one of many Bear defenders in on that tackle.
They're 2 for 5 on third down, and that's intercepted. Clayton Horn still on his feet until now he's down. The first turnover of the day is caught by Clayton Horn, his second pick of the year, and the Bears are inside of the 30.
You see him, he goes up into the line of scrimmage and drops at the last minute, drops into the zone that Crocker's trying to throw into. Crocker did not see him in his vision right here. You see him dropping, reading the quarterback's eyes, and does a good job of bringing in that catch. Catches it twice, but brings it in nonetheless. A big turnover for this Bears defense.
Stevens now with flags coming in from both sides of the line of scrimmage. Has a yard. That was just the 3rd interception of the year thrown by Crocker.
He just didn't see him. Just didn't see Horn dropping into that zone. It was a great play, great by him. This senior linebacker reading the eyes of the quarterback like a vet does. Breaking on the ball.
Legal formation on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. Penalties 5 yards. Repeat first down.
Number 35, Clayton Horn, already with his second big play, stops him earlier in the game on a 4th and short, right in the hole, stops Peoples on a 4th down play, and right there he comes up with the turnover. So he's been responsible for getting the ball back to his offense twice already in this first half.
Somewhere in that pile of humanity is the Bears' honeypot, their version of the turnover chain. Willingham keeps the play alive as a flag comes in, and it's Stevens who pushes to get down inside the 25.
It's usually a holding call. Whenever you see a quarterback scrambling, avoiding defenders, and then a flag coming in late is usually a holding is the reason a quarterback gets loose like that.
Holding on the offense, number 52. Penalties 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
So 2 quick penalties on Drew Cronick's offense.
Jordan Brooks, see him just grab the outside piece of that jersey. Josiah Carlton as he's rushing the quarterback, and whenever you get those hands outside and a jersey displaced from the defender's shoulder pad, it's an easy call for the referee.
You can hear the pads popping there. Gabe Price colliding with Amin Stevens. Remember, the best player probably in all of Division II football, that's him right there. Not with the pads on, Kyle Duggar. By most projections, he is a 2nd or 3rd round at worst draft pick. He had 2 offers coming out of high school, 2. Reinhardt and Lenoir-Rhyne. You know what has the connection there? Reinhardt was started, that program, by Drew Cronick, who's now here, and he gets to coach him up for his final 2 years. His Wingate defense, however, is looking a lot like Kyle Duggar pursuing the football.
He's from Decatur, Georgia. You know some good things coming out of Decatur, Georgia. Obviously, we got Duggar. My beautiful wife is from Decatur, Georgia as well.
Beautiful
so
things
I love
coming
Decatur,
out of Decatur,
Georgia.
after the turnover, the interception by Clayton Horn, this Bulldogs defense has backed up the Bears, who have helped with an illegal procedure and a hold.
Obviously, you can't take two big plays away that the Bears offense has had, but this Wingate defense has really stiffened up and played really good ball. Outside of the big run by Stevens and the pass to Mitchell for the touchdown, they haven't given up big yardage or much yardage at all. This Bears team has had a really tough time sustaining long drives. And again, Wingate with the big stop, aided by the holding call by Brooks earlier. But again, Wingate comes through after the turnover by their offense. This Bulldog defense again stiffens up and makes this Bears offense have to settle for a field goal attempt.
It's a 43, almost 44-yard try for Chase Alba. And man, does he have a leg. No doubter there from Alba. His second field goal of the day. And it's a double-digit lead for the Bears midway through this second quarter. A turnover leads to points. And Lenoir-Rhyne has the edge on your...
Wake up. There's a lot that needs to get done today. Small things, big things, too hard to do alone things. Day after day, you need to get it all done. And here to listen and help you through it all is Bank of America, with the expertise and know-how you need to reach that blissful state of doneness. So let's get after it. What would you like the power to do?
The lone football national champs for Lenoir-Rhyne, 1960, the NAIA Lenoir-Rhyne Bears will be honored at the half. Fans, college football celebrating its 150th birthday this year. It started when students from Princeton and Rutgers got together on November 6th, 1869. Passion and love for the sport started that day, has carried on now for generations. College football has provided educational opportunities, inspired future leaders, and enriched communities. Follow at CFB150 on social media. Visit CFB150.org for more information. Both coaches, Trey, stress this. Turnovers, big plays are going to be the difference in this game. Right now, the two big plays and the lone turnover all reside on the guys wearing black, and they lead it by 10.
Right, and that's usually the key to every game, but they really stress those points this week, and the Bears have taken that to heart. Two big plays and the one interception by Horn, resulting in a field goal, are the difference in this game.
Oh, is he out of the end zone? So what will this call be? He's going to be ruled down at the 1. Now Barnett, remember, called for a fair catch last time.
And he catches it, yeah, outside the end zone. If he had caught that 1 yard back in the end zone, it would have been an automatic touchback. But the man is just trying to make a play and did not have good footing on that. Tough break. One, obviously, the Wingate Bulldogs did not need at this time.
The only positive for Wingate here is that they're on this side of the field, not in front of the student section on the opposite end.
Only positive.
The only one. It's Niger Peoples, and he's going to get an extra yard of breathing room, but that's it.
It's good to see Peoples back. He got banged up a couple of series ago on a tackle by Eric Jackson, who went low on him, but he's back in the game, and they're going to need his tough running to get out the shadow of their own goalpost. They want to switch the field position on this drive.
You missed the opening of the game. Lenoir-Rhyne won the toss. They deferred, so they get the ball to start the second half. And their defense has a chance to swing the momentum right here. Five yards deep in his end zone. Crocker, Mucklevine's got it. All the way out at the 47-yard line. A 46-yard strike to the fifth-year senior.
What a play. And Luba was bearing down on Crocker, too. And he lets go of a beauty of a pass to McElveen that he turns back. He actually had him beat. He actually underthrew it a little bit, but he had him beat so bad that he had time to come back and pick up that huge catch. Good play by Crocker and McElveen to pick up that huge yardage. What a play.
What a call there from Reich, his offensive coordinator, who's been with him his 19 years here, Mike Long. Raekwon Simmons off his fingertips and nearly intercepted. Crocker threw him a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
He definitely did. He threw that to first base as fast as you can right there and goes right off the hands of Raekwon. And those passes almost always get intercepted. And they're fortunate right there that number 21, Landon Scott, could not bring that in.
Here's Peoples. No, not getting to the outside.
Sherrod Williams. Great penetration at the point of attack. Takes on the right tackle. Comes in and brings Peoples down below the line of scrimmage. That is what you want to do with a running back like that. Get him going east and west versus north and south. Those are the type of plays that can happen for you as a defense. Can't let Peoples get a full head of steam going forward. And they were able to bring him down in the line, behind the line of scrimmage because they were able to make him run towards the sideline.
Third and long. Artis forces Crocker out of the pocket. Still in pursuit. And Artis is the one who created that entire play. It'll be Houston who registers the tackle.
And my goodness, this spin move reminds me of a scary moment I had against Dwight Freeney playing in the NFL. He absolutely spins on a dime against left tackle Zy Simpson and gets pressure immediately. That's what he does, though. He rushes the quarterback. Good job by Crocker to see it and break contain, but he was not able to make a play.
Bears come in hard after Evans, who rips off a good one. And Lenoir-Rhyne will start at their 13. Didn't you tell me Dwight Freeney was the toughest guy you had to go up against?
I was definitely the most terrified going against Dwight Freeney. I've played against some tough guys. I had to block James Harrison in practice every day, which was a nightmare.
Yeah, but if you missed him, it's practice.
He doesn't know that. James Harrison didn't know it was practice. He treated every practice like it was a game, and it hurt to block him. He was like a ball of muscles. But Dwight Freeney in the game was definitely one of those guys.
Drew Cronick lost his first game here, but they showed themselves pretty well. After that, they went on to win 12 straight. He is 20-2 as a head coach after taking over a team that had lost its way, quite frankly. In 2013, Mike Houston got this club to a national championship game. A couple coaches in between. Program slipped to the 2-win ranks. And all of a sudden, Cronick and his staff came in, largely with the same guys, and they've won 20 of 22 games. Willingham, with guys around his feet, fires one long.
Guys around his feet. Maybe a late hit on the quarterback. But you mentioned Cronick and his record since he's been here, and the guys that he's had who have seen both sides of the coin. They've been a part of some pretty tough seasons. Like you mentioned,
Holding
2-win seasons.
on the offense, number 77. That penalty is refused. Third down.
So they definitely appreciate this current run that they're on right now, not having lost a regular season game in 18 games. And you know, the seniors really appreciate starting from the bottom, and now they're here. So, in the words of Drake.
I got you. Started from the bottom, now you're here.
Right.
Third down and 10. The Bears are 2 for 6 on third down in a game that has really been dominated by defenses all day. Beaver takes a big hit there from Gilmore, who's the leading tackler for Wingate today. And the Bears punt team is out.
Really surprising play call on 3rd and 10. Surprised they didn't let Willingham air the ball out a little bit and pick up that first down, but they have a lot of faith in their defense. The defense has done a great job, even on the previous drive, after giving up that big pass play to midfield after starting on Wingate starting on the 1-yard line. The Bears defense was able to stiffen up, and I don't blame them for having faith in his defense to end this first half.
Wingate is setting up for the return. Michael Owen spiraling deep kick. Muckelveen back inside his 35, and his spin move creates some space. Another one. That's a 15-yard return for Muckelveen, who took that punt over his head on a punt that was well over 50 yards.
Great punt. He almost pretty much outpunted his coverage on that one. Muckelveen had to run back and gather it, but it definitely looked a lot fancier than a 15-yard return, putting a couple of spin moves on, but regardless, able to get his offense into good field position, and they have a chance to put some points on. This is their best field position to start a drive in this first half. See if they can take advantage and put some points on the board before halftime.
Crocker started to panic there pretty early, and that's why. The combination of Artis and Houston on top of him. He will pick up 1.5 yards.
Yeah, you can tell he's not as comfortable running the ball. He doesn't mind scrambling to set up the pass, but doesn't seem too comfortable trying to rush the ball himself. You see he has some room here, and he just stops when he sees the black jersey come across his face. And he gets down, to his credit, not to take a big hit.
Time winding down first half. The Bears get the ball to start the second half. Big few plays coming up here. Dom McNeil gets to the outside, around Clayton Horn, and out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
And they got lucky. Andrew Strickland, the stalwart at right tackle for Wingate, had a pretty healthy hold of Jaquez Artis on this play right here. You see number 32 almost gets tackled, and fortunately for the Wingate Bulldogs, the referees did not see it. They have a chance to pick up this manageable 3rd down and keep this drive going. They need to put on points before half, knowing that the Bears get the ball back in the second half. Getting points now goes a long way to staying in this game.
5 men now out in this pattern. Crocker will elect to keep it himself, fall forward for the first down as Sherrod Williams was camped out there.
That's just really good awareness by the sophomore, Crocker, knowing where the sticks were, knowing how much yardage he needed to get the first down. We saw earlier when he tried to scramble, he went down right away. Well, he knew he couldn't do that there. He had 3 or 4 yards to pick up, and he puts his body on the line going forward to pick up that first down and keep this drive going.
Wants Raekwon Simmons here. Another ball right on the money to Simmons. That's his 4th catch of the day, and very close. It'll depend on the spot to the first down. It'll be good for 10 yards.
Not only that, he gets out of bounds, serving some time right here, enabling Coach Wright to save these 2 timeouts. The whole playbook is open. You have plenty of time. You can still run the ball in this situation. You don't have to go strictly pass.
Crocker wants his formation flipped. He also wants him to hustle. The play clock's down to 5. And it's Artis again, helped out by 90 Dan Luba. And a timeout for the Bulldogs.
I was watching number 32 on that play, and he worked extremely hard, getting through a single block and then a double team. You see number 32 with the inside move, 2 offensive linemen on him, and he fights through in his pursuit of bringing Crocker down.
Now Connor Barron-Eunice, who's the captain and the senior right guard, is gingerly rolled over here.
So hope he's okay. We know how important number 71 is for this offensive line and for this team. the two-year captain is exactly that, a captain and a leader of this team, and be a big loss if he can't continue to play.
When we were talking about him with Coach Reich earlier this week, we brought up the name Baron Eunice, and immediately the answer was, he's our guy. He's just our guy. But he can't put much of any weight on that left leg. That's going to be a big loss for the Bulldogs here. And if you heard, while he's being helped off because the injury occurred under 60 seconds, it's also a 10-second runoff.
I wonder if he'll elect to use a timeout instead of the 10-second runoff. 45 seconds and 2 timeouts still isn't bad, though, so he may decide to keep his timeouts. And it's unfortunate, a little insult to injury to lose 10 seconds as well as your leader, Connor Baron Eunice.
Trey, are you surprised how much Wingate has been dropping back to pass, almost trying to set the run up with the pass because they just haven't been able to get much on the ground?
Not at all. I knew going into this game with Duggar out, the strength of this defense relies in the defensive line. They're a great run-stopping unit, and they needed to attack that secondary in order to have success as offense.
Crocker dumps one off underneath to Dom McNeil as the crowd wanted a hold because Artis was tackled in the backfield, but no flag came.
Wow. Even Zai Simpson got up looking around for the flag. I mean, it doesn't get more egregious than that.
Hey, he got away with it, so I guess it does get more egregious than
not
that.
Not a holding call if they don't call it, right?
It's a first down. 25 seconds left here in this half. 2 timeouts still at the disposal of the Bulldogs.
Zai Simpson, he's had some issues with Artie, as well as most linemen have, but they really need to send him some help.
Here's Crocker now underneath, and Sherrod Williams was standing right there behind him. It was that Kalen Clark, the redshirt freshman, and there is a flag down now. Bulldogs are backing up.
Legal motion. On the offense, number 1. Penalty 5 yards. Repeat first down.
Do you believe there's a such thing as a makeup call?
Absolutely. I don't know if that was one, but it could have been as the Bulldogs use their second timeout. Jalen Brooks is the guy who is tagged for that penalty. So 1 timeout remaining now with 20 seconds left in this entertaining first half. It's been very even. 184 yards for the Bulldogs, 183 for the Bears.
Like we said, the difference, big plays. And 1 turnover that Wingate gifted to the Bears. That has been the difference in this game. Wingate has had success moving the ball inside the 20-yard line against this Bears defense, but they get into that red zone area. The Bears defense stiffens up, and the Wingate offense stalls.
We want Bama, huh? Bring it on.
Hey, they don't lack for confidence, I'll tell you that, but you don't want Bama.
I don't know, bring Bama here between the bricks and let's see what happens.
Talked to Coach Duggar. Said Duggar could play for Alabama and be a really good player for them too. That's how highly he's thought of.
Artis is a handful. Crocker just throws it into his crowd. Look, Artis has been doing this all year. He came into this game with 15.5 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, which was 10th best nationally at the Division II level. He has been doing this all year long.
And the thing is, if you look at the numbers today, he doesn't have any sacks so far, but that does not begin to tell you the story of the impact he's had in this first half. You ask Zy Simpson how hard it's been blocking number 32.
Here's Crocker now. Here's Raekwon Simmons, fastest guy on the team, smartly gets out of bounds with 6 seconds remaining here in this second quarter.
You got one shot at the end zone, but I don't even think you take it at this point.
Joe Reich agrees with you.
Good call right here. Get some points on the board. Get this into a one-score game.
29-yard try. The Bears have timeout to use, so they'll use it.
Timeout, Lenoir-Rhyne. That's their second charge timeout.
See if they can ice the all-conference kicker from a year ago who's already connected once today. Joe Reich, whose brother is Frank, the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He said they text all the time. Obviously, they talk a bunch, but mostly when they're in season, it's not so much about the game plans. It's more about unique ways to motivate the guys. He said even this week he was texting with his brother, what you got? Any good stories? Any good things I can use for my guys in the locker room? And he says he's got a notebook full of them on his desk, and he thinks his brother has a notebook full of what he has told Frank.
Well, I might need to ask him at the end of this game if he could ask his brother for a game plan against my Steelers this week.
Got torn allegiances for you.
I know, right?
Trey Essex, who won a couple of Super Bowls with Pittsburgh, now lives in Indianapolis, Fort Wayne. No, you're in Indy.
I'm in Indy, and I also do a pregame show for the Colts.
Yeah, that's going to go well this week. Robertson's kick is true, and that's going to be all for the first half as the extra second or two ran off the clock.
Showcased two really good kickers in this first half, both of them 2 for 2, putting up good points for their teams, and it's good for Wingate to finally end it. Their first drive started and stalled with a field goal. Their last drive before first half started and stopped with a field goal. So it was good for them to get some points on the board, get the game into a one-score game, and they're right in it.
The last 3 games between these two have been decided by single digits. It's a 7-point game now as we head to the half on your Division II.
Wake up. There's a lot that needs to get done today. Small things, big things, too hard to do alone things. Day after day, you need to get it all done. And here to listen and help you through it all is Bank of America, with the expertise and know-how you need to reach that blissful state of doneness. So let's get after it. What would you like the power to do?
Welcome back here at the half. We are pleased to be joined by the president of the university, Dr. Fred Witt. And let's start with this football program, because what Drew Cronick has done here seems to have reinvigorated this entire town of Hickory, the school of Lenoir-Rhyne. How has the success of this program benefited really the entire athletic department?
It's been amazing. Coach Cronick's done a great job changing the culture. The kids bought into it. It's kind of run through the entire athletic program, so that success hasn't just been on the football field, but throughout the university and with the other sports as well.
When we were speaking with Coach Cronick this week, he pointed out that the GPA rapidly rose when he took over, and he said typically that means good things for success on the field. But as the president, you're thrilled, I would imagine, with the rise in the GPA. How about the importance of the student portion of the athlete?
It's been phenomenal. For example, You know, last year we were undefeated in the league and won the league, but what was most impressive, our football team also had the highest GPA of any school in the league, so we won the league in that as well. But that's true in all sports. We are proud to sponsor 22 NCAA Division II sports, and 18 of those teams have a GPA over a 3.0. And our average GPA for our student athletes is a 3.2. So they bring a lot, not just to the field or the court of play, but also to the university. And I believe last year we finished around 17th in the country in community service. So our athletes contributed over 6,000 hours in community service here in the Hickory area.
I know that community service, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, that is a big initiative of Division II as a whole, not just Lenoir-Rhyne. What are some of the things in the community that your athletes are doing, football players or non-football players?
We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot with the soup kitchen. They're doing a lot with Habitat for Humanity, doing a lot with a school that we've adopted in a lower socioeconomic area of the county. And so not just athletes, but all our students have been involved in that.
When football teams, when any team in an athletic department starts to have success like this one is having, it benefits the university. Typically, universities grow because of that. How has the university benefited from the success of the entire department?
Well, it's been interesting. Lenoir-Rhyne University has been around for 128 years. We were founded by 4 Lutheran ministers right here on these grounds. So we've had a great tie with the city of Hickory and Catawba County for all of those 128 years. And this year we're actually celebrating our 100th year of football. So we've had success in athletics for a long time. But I think what you do see, I think athletics programs are the front porch of a university. And so when you're successful, as we've been last year, and as it appears we're doing this year, people take notice, and we have had good growth. At a time when small private universities are competing for students, we've had actually 11 consecutive years of increased enrollment.
That's pretty impressive. We're talking with Dr. Fred Witt here, the president of the university, and just your 3rd year. So what's up next? What are the goals moving forward?
Well, this is it for me. I love Lenoir-Rhyne University, and to me this was a calling to be here. And so I want to be here and leave this place, a much better place than I found it. So we have completed a new strategic plan, and it's all about moving everything we do at the university to an even higher level of excellence. And kind of the hallmarks of that are an exceptional student experience, academic excellence, certainly a distinctive identity, and a sustainable future. And we believe that working to have innovation in our classroom, making every opportunity for students a learning experience, and having exceptional experiences, that then we'll create a pretty exciting graduate who can change the world.
All right, well, that's a great way to end it. Graduates who are going to be changing the world. We appreciate your time here at the half. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
More coming up at the half. It's Lenoir-Rhyne and Wingate on your Division II National Showcase.
Wake up. There's a lot that needs to get done today. Small things, big things, too hard to do alone things. Day after day, you need to get it all done. And here to listen and help you through it all is Bank of America, with the expertise and know-how you need to reach that blissful state of doneness. So let's get after it. What would you like the power to do?
Halftime continuing to roll along here at Lenoir-Rhyne. They lead it by 7 over the visiting Wingate Bulldogs as we get you back into the booth here at Moret Stadium. Darren and the 2-time Super Bowl champ here, Trey Essex. Impressions of the first half, largely defensive.
Right. It's been a defensive game. Both defenses have came to play. Obviously, the offense is struggling a little bit, moving the ball. Wingate, not so much. They started the game moving the ball really well. But the story of the game, in between the 20s, they've been good. But once they've gotten to the red zone, they've been selling for field goals and not touchdowns. And the difference in this game is the 2 big plays made by the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears and no big plays on the other side for the Wingate Bulldogs.
2 big plays and 1 turnover. All of those benefiting the Bears. First, though, it was the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Wingate has done a good job to start this game out. Crocker completing some passes, getting into the red zone, having to settle for this field goal right here. Really good start to the game, and their defense is playing lights out, really limiting this Lenoir-Rhyne Bears offense outside of this big play to start the game. They jump out with a 70-yard run by Mr. Stevens right here, but Wingate Bulldogs stiffen up and only give up this field goal. But the difference in this game right now is that hookup between Willingham to McNeil for the touchdown right here. If he doesn't score this touchdown, we have a tie game going into the second half. Wingate came back in the first half trying to drive, and they throw an interception to Mr. Ross, who was all over the field in this first half and really making big plays. And this resulted in the field goal that gave us the deficit that we have right now between Wingate and Lenoir-Rhyne, 13-6.
Trey, you pointed it out. The difference, one turnover in this game, 2 big plays, because otherwise total yards are somewhat close. Both teams having issues on third down. And Wingate is one of the best teams at the Division II level in terms of time of possession. So there's really no shock here that they've had it for about 6 more minutes.
No, not at all. Wingate's doing a good job of driving the ball, but again, they're not capitalizing on these good drives, putting the ball into the end zone. And the Bears are taking advantage. They've taken advantage of the few things that they've had, the big play and the turnover, putting points on the board when given opportunity.
All right, we'll get you set here for the second half. 2 of the 14 remaining unbeaten.
It all comes down to a single defining moment. When a plan stops being a plan and gets set into motion. Today's Merrill can help you get there with the people, tools, and personalized advice to help turn your ambitions into action. What would you like the power to do?
(13-6) is the Bears' lead at halftime on a gorgeous fall afternoon here at the beginning of November between the bricks. Just outside of downtown Hickory, North Carolina, 2,700 students here. They are the Bears, and because they're the Bears, they have one of the most unique turnover chains in the country. It is a pot of honey, although there's actually not honey in there. Black and cardinal, technically the colors, and they've got 11 sports for both the men and the women. It's what you need to know about the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne, led by Drew Cronick, who's 20-2 in his second year as the head coach and has never lost a home game. Let's see what the second half has in store. 7-point game.
It all comes down to a single defining moment. When a plan stops being a plan and gets set into motion. Today's Merrill can help you get there with the people, tools, and personalized advice to help turn your ambitions into action. What would you like the power to do?
It is officially a sellout at Moret Stadium. Over 10,000 people here, standing room only. Many of them at this extended half, when they honored the 1960 NAIA National Champs, have headed back out towards their tailgates on what is a perfect afternoon for football and festivities. A lot of Wingate fans are here. They're only about an hour and a half away from Wingate, North Carolina. Founded just before 1900, their enrollment slightly larger than that of Lenoir-Rhyne. They're the blue and gold, and they've got 10 sports for both the men and the women. And as Joe Reich jokingly points out, as good as this football team is, they're the low man on the totem pole in the athletic department, because the Wingate fans have been treated to some of the best athletics in the South Atlantic Conference the last 10 or 11 years. Soccer's awesome, tennis is good, golf is good, really everything is. Some Division II quick facts for you. 310 members, 44 states, including Alaska, Hawaii, Canada, and Puerto Rico. I like the fact that the student athletes at D2 graduate at a higher rate than that of the general student body. Plenty more of these quick facts. There are 25 NCAA championships. That amounts for one in every about 8.5 student athletes. The best access ratio among all of the NCAA divisions, D1, 2, and 3. Community service, Make-A-Wish, team impact, military organizations, all a huge part of Division II's mantra and the Make It Yours campaign that really started a few years back. All right, Trey, the top 25 poll, Valdosta State still hasn't lost. There are 14 unbeaten teams, and oh, by the way, Slippery Rock down there at last check, second half, they were tied with an unranked opponent. Central Missouri, then there's Wingate checking in at 8-0. And the PSAC is having a pretty good year. Kutztown at 8-0, now into the top 25. We saw Harding at the beginning of the year, West Florida, that plays in the baseball stadium down in Pensacola. Another PSAC team. Westchester makes an appearance there. Texas A&M Commerce is a very dangerous team. Their two losses are to Tarleton State and one other ranked opponent. There's Joe Wright, three-time conference coach of the year. A couple of championships under his belt, including one that he won here about 3 or 4 years ago. And Reich knows the task at hand and was very complimentary of Drew Cronick and his staff on the opposite sideline. Unprompted, Reich said about Cronick, "I've never seen a coach turn around a program and do as good of a job as Cronick and his entire staff have done in the last 2 years at Lenoir-Rhyne." A lot of mutual respect between the two. Trey, what do you expect to see here in the second half?
Well, they're going to have to make some adjustments. They got to find a way to punch that ball through into the end zone. Talking about Wingate Bulldogs. The defense has been playing great. They've really done a good job of, outside those two big plays, limiting this Lenoir-Rhyne Bears offense. They're actually outgaining them offensively in this first half. So they've done a good job outside of that big play to Mitchell. That is the difference in the score in this game. So Wingate defense doesn't have to make a lot of adjustments. They've been playing well, keep on with the aggressive mentality, but the offense has to come up with the way to get that ball into the end zone.
Backstepping, Derek Young takes it from the 1 and has a head of steam. Caught from behind and planted down at the 30. And some extracurriculars afterwards. These are two rivals, man.
Well, this game is extra physical. This has become a really good rivalry over the years, and they know what's at stake right here. Hence the extracurricular activities at the end of that. This second half is huge. What can the Bulldogs do? In order to become the king, you got to knock the king off the hill. And right now, the Bears have been the king the last 2 seasons, and they don't have any plans of giving it up easily. So the Bulldogs are going to have to take it forcefully, and it starts right here in the second half. With this first drive, can their defense stop this offense?
In motion, the jet sweep is Ryan Carter, who jukes his way, staying in bounds, and picks up the first down, give him 16 yards.
First time we've seen a jet sweep from this Bears offense right here. And like I said, they haven't had a whole lot of success sustaining drives. They've been the beneficiary of some big plays, and right here they start out with a good first down. They kind of missed a block in the back by Demarius Hampton on that play. But if they don't call it, it's not a penalty, and Ryan Carter takes advantage and picks up 13 yards on that first down play.
Second time Hayden Mann has taken a snap today, and the third-string quarterback picks up about 3 yards. We didn't expect to see Hayden Mann, but that is the second time he has come in just to run the ball.
Some 4 quarterbacks today. That's our 4th quarterback.
It's true.
So a little bit of a different wrinkle for this Bears offense amongst a whole bunch of other wrinkles that they tend to employ throughout any given game plan.
Watching these guys move and adjust like that, there are more wrinkles in this game plan than most others. Stevens is grabbed by Josiah Carlton. Carlton, who has 40 tackles on the year coming in and 9.5 tackles for loss, has been pretty quiet thus far today.
See, that shifting of the O-line hasn't really had a lot of effect on this Wingate defense. They don't shift with them. They know They've watched enough film and they played them enough times in close games to know what they plan to do out of those type of motions and shifts. So the Wingate defense has not been fooled by the trickeration of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears.
They were 2 for 7 on third down in the first half. This one's not going to work either. Matthew Ellis-White up to blast Derek Young. Maybe got about 3 yards.
That's what you got to do. You got to tackle the catch. That ball was in the air for a long time, though. William kind of just lofted it up there, giving the defense enough time to break on the ball. Matthew Ellis-White brings him down with the short tackle. Have to get it up that 13-yard run by Carter on the first play. Wingate again stiffens up and gets the ball back to their offense.
McElveen has his heels on the 10-yard line, or did until he moved out of the way. And the defense of Wingate wins the opening possession here of the second half, Trey, just like you asked them to do to set the tone early. It's a 13-6 game early on here in the third quarter as the Bulldogs get set for their first possession of the half.
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person, and we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
Downtown Hickory via the air. Technology's awesome, isn't it? Drones. They had a drone up during halftime as well, watching the 1960 NAIA National Championship team get honored. Meanwhile, here are the Bulldogs. Here's Shaw Crocker, second-year starter, winner of 17 games. And Peoples runs into a wall. Amari Houston, number 56, was there to slow the progress.
The big, stout defensive tackles holding up the guards and the centers from this offensive line from the Bulldogs, and let the rest of the linebackers and defensive end low down and make the tackle. I want to see Crocker air the ball out more. He had a lot of success, very accurate in the first half. They've been setting up the whole game with the out routes. So see them maybe do a double move with Brooks or McElveen on the outside. I think this defense from the Bears is primed to bite on one of those routes.
It's been so hard for the Bulldogs to gain traction consistently on the ground, where they average 200 yards a game.
Peoples had a very good first. Got single coverage on the outside to number 14, Quan Simmons, the fastest guy on their team. Big cushion, though. See if they take the first down yardage.
Late pressure comes. There's Simmons. And again, we see Simmons coming out of a break with the ball right there on his hip. And it wasn't just the ball that was right there on his hip. Milliken was there too. This will be a first down, and it will most likely be a defensive penalty.
I think he might have held him coming out that break. That's why he was able to get so close.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 4. Penalty is refused. Result, first down.
Because they got exactly 15 yards on the play anyway. You know, it's interesting about Raekwon Simmons. He went to an excellent high school in the Charleston area, Fort Dorchester. And he caught the attention of a lot of folks because of his speed, but he wasn't as refined as a receiver. He was a little bit raw. But we've seen today, he runs some pretty good routes.
Those out routes, he has that down pat. He goes down the line, flattens out the route, gives his quarterback a nice, good target.
That ball was up in the air for a while, but it gets to Brooks. It's good for a first down. Landon Scott was the first one to get to him.
That is a long throw for any quarterback from the opposite hash to the outside number. If you can make that throw, you can make just about any throw. Right there, Brooks is wide open long enough for that throw to get there. It's like you said, it was lofted up there. But this is what they have to do. Crocker has to be the man to get this offense over the hump. This defense from the Bears is stacked up against the run. They have not given up anything since that first drive via the run.
Here's Peoples coming out of the eye. He's able to get to the edge, and then Milliken rides him for the last couple of yards. That's 9, maybe 9.5 yards. So chunk plays coming right now for the Bulldogs.
A little bit different way to run the ball right there. They employ a fullback. Little I formation right there, number 47. Takes on the DB right there and allows people to get outside and pick up good yardage on first down. Previous running plays hadn't been working, so they put a fullback in there, go old school. I love it.
Remember, they lost Connor Baronius, their best offensive lineman, their senior leader in the first half, the right tackle. Here's Peoples. It's not easy to make Peoples look small, but he did his best to slide his way through and pick up the first down with Sherrod Williams putting on the hit.
Good play call. Get Peoples inside. You know, it's not too hard for him to get a yard or two once he gets going north to south. The issue is when he has to go east or west, that the defense is able to stop his forward momentum. But right now, Wingate, this is the type of drive they want. Pick up first down, wear on this defense, give Crocker some opportunities to get the ball downfield.
Instead, it'll be McNeil. Eric Jackson flies up from the safety spot, doing his best Kyle Duggar impersonation. Duggar, the All-American and the surefire bet to be an NFL draft pick, is not playing today, but Jackson's played great.
And right there, you see number 11 showing early. Eric Jackson has been all over the field, and right there he makes McNeil bounce the ball outside, and that gives this very speedy defense time to get to the ball. McNeil didn't have a chance once he saw Jackson shoot through that gap. Tell you what, with Duggar being gone, they've had to do it by committee. There's not one guy out there that can take his place, but Eric Jackson is trying his best.
Yeah, he is. Horn gets into the backfield, forced the fumble, and recovers it. Clayton Horn, an interception in the first half, a forced fumble and a recovery here in the second.
And don't forget the tackle on fourth and short against Peoples to bring up a turnover on downs. Horn is just absolutely making big play after big play. The trifecta, the sack, the forced fumble. If I'm not mistaken, he recovered this as well. And here he goes. The third time I think he deserves the honey pot. Interception, fumble force, fumble recovery, and a tackle to bring up a turnover on downs in that first drive. So my man Horn is just having a great game and has been huge for this Bears defense.
Here's Derek Young, and on the jet sweep, Young will pick up 6 yards. The first turnover of the game resulted in 3 points for the Bears, and it too came on the positive side of the 50.
Looked like Wingate had everything going in the right direction. Picked up a couple of first downs, some pass plays working between Crocker and his wide receivers, and all of a sudden,
Willingham to throw, and it is out of the reach of Demarius Hampton.
And again, this Wingate defense has been tasked with stopping this Bears offense after a quick change of possession. And it's already third down. They've done an excellent job responding time in and time again. Right there, they were not fooled by the fake option. Great coverage by the secondary right there. Nobody was open. William had to just air it out and hope his wide receiver can make a play.
That ball's dangerous. Ryan Carter in a ton of traffic. Only gets a yard there on third down.
Gabe Price makes the tackle immediately on third down. Looked like he might have had an opening to pick up that first down yardage, but Price comes. I don't blame Coach Cronic right here. This is a field position game at this point. You do not want to give Wingate another opportunity to get good field position. Punt the ball, pin them back, and let your defense work for you.
Looked like he considered going for it. He went to that card, flipped it over, and then after scanning it over, that's when he called his punt team out. Owen trying to kill this thing inside the 5. He'll do it. For the second time today, Wingate will start inside of its 5-yard line. Trailing at 13-6 on your Division II now.
There is someone walking behind you. Turn around. Look at me. There is someone. Look at me.
Best Division II environment I have seen personally on this D2 National Showcase in the last 3 years. Sold out crowd here at Norette Stadium. This is what's left for Wingate. Newberry next week, currently sitting at 3-3 in the league. Mars Hill to close it out, having one of its best seasons in recent memory. Mars Hill at 4-1 in the conference. They're going to start from their 5 as Peoples tries. Check it, McNeil to get outside, and it's Eric Jackson again, the first guy to get there. Let me ask you this, Trey. Without Duggar, obviously, it's a huge loss when you take a professional player off of a Division II field. It is going to change things. But it feels as though this defense wouldn't be giving up much more or less had Duggar been out here anyway.
Right. This is a good defense. It's not all Duggar. Obviously, he's a big part of it. But like Coach Cronic said in our meeting, this defensive line is the heart of this team. It's the strongest unit on this team. And they've done a great job by filling the gap left by Duggar by employing a defense by committee, safety by committee. And I'll tell you what, Eric Jackson is doing his best Kyle Duggar impersonation. He has been all over the field, making big play after big play. There are no slouches. Obviously, you want to have your star playmaker back there, but his defense has shown that they are fully capable of performing even without the services of Kyle Duggar.
Jackson's got 7 tackles. Horn, yeah, he's got the pick, the forced fumble, the fumble recovery, although the Bears were held off the scoreboard after that fumble recovery. Got to get to the 15-yard line. Pass deflected and incomplete. Was that Artis who got a hand on it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we just showed that video of Horn. Horn was breaking on that pass too. If that ball gets through, does not get tipped, watch number 35 right in the corner of your screen. He was going right where that wide receiver was. Number 35, you see him in your screen. If that ball doesn't get tipped by Artie, that might have been a pick 6.
And if not a pick, Muckelveen would have taken quite a shot.
Yes.
Evans is a good punter with a big leg, but this one's not his best effort. He sends it out of bounds, and it'll depend on the spot where the Bears take over. It'll be the 40-yard line. Defensive game here. Trading punches.
It all comes down to a single defining moment. When a plan stops being a plan and gets set into motion. Today's Merrill can help you get there with the people, tools, and personalized advice to help turn your ambitions into action. What would you like the power to do?
Always tough when you don't have a guy like number 2 suited up and ready to go. They do hope that he is back for the playoffs, Kyle Duggar. We've been talking about his absence for quite some time. UNC Pembroke, the Division II independent, is next up for Lenoir-Rhyne. Then Catawba, who comes in to this week still winless in conference play. That's what remains for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, who lead it by 7 and have it at the 40 here for Grayson Willingham, the redshirt junior who Drew Cronick said is an outstanding leader and is as tough as they come. And he's taking a shot here, and Mitchell drops it. He got separation by pushing off a little bit.
Great coverage by Davion Washington. There, step by step. This is what they scored on in the first half. Willingham to Mitchell, and right, a little push off right there, and he almost brings it in with one hand. That's because his other hand was pushing off the defender. But good coverage by Davion Washington.
Derek Young lost his footing, and it'll be 3rd down and long. What's amazing right now about this game, there's 5 minutes to go in the third. The team with the ball is winning by 7. So you look down at the stats, they have half as many first downs as Wingate. They have run 16 fewer plays. They've got 40 fewer yards and have had the ball for about 8 fewer minutes. Big plays, that's the difference, 2 of them.
Stats lie, right? Numbers lie.
Setting up a screen here to Stevens. Man, what a job by Gilmore to fight through the blocks and get to the ankles of Stevens. If he doesn't slow him down, he probably gets the edge.
It's a great play call, too. Screen right into the teeth of the pressure they were bringing off the edge. And Stevens catches it with some room to run, but like you said, Gilmore jumps over a couple of blocks and gets to the legs of Stevens, bringing him down short for the first down.
They've hit 67% of their 4th down tries this year. Will they try it is the question. You bet. Willingham dumps one off here to Ramser, and the hit's there. Gabe Price is up to make the play and turn him over on downs.
And mark my words, partner. That play right there and the excitement I saw on that sideline, that could be a turning point in this game right here. Number 6, Gabe Price. You thinking right here after this completion, he's going to get that first down, but number 6 said no. Gabe Price with the great tackle, driving the receiver back after he gets the reception. Look at him break on this ball. Amazing play by this defense. Amazing play by Gabe Price. Now let's see if this Wingate offense can take advantage.
Price is technically a reserve linebacker, but he's out there a whole lot. Came into the day with over 20 tackles. Straight ahead, Peoples. 41 Hayes crashing down the line for the tackle after a gain of 1.5 yards.
Gotta let Crocker loose, coach. This is his time right here. This running game has been kind of pedestrian since that first quarter. Crocker has shown the ability to throw. Now, he's thrown an interception. And they've gotten pressure on him. When you give him the time, he's thrown some great balls. And right now, this running game and this defense from the Bears is just not working for Wingate.
It's just not fancy the last couple of plays running straight ahead there. Quentin Hayes is back-to-back stops, and now it's 3rd down and long.
Right. Coming after that big change of possession. that's when you go for the throw. That's when you go deep. You see a lot of teams go deep after getting the ball, be a turnover or turnover and downs, and they decided to go the other route. 2 running plays that have not worked at all for the Bulldogs.
4 for 10 on 3rd down. The Bears only rushed 3, and that ball's behind Brooks. Moretz Stadium wanted a flag. The Lenoir-Rhyne coaching staff is immediately to our right begging for a flag as Artis got tackled again without a flag.
From behind, and the ref was looking right at him, and they're keeping those flags inside. Outside of pre-snap penalties, have we seen any penalties? We haven't had any personal fouls. I have not. Maybe one holding call?
Yeah, there's been holds. Yeah, there really hasn't been much other than the pre-snap stuff. Look at this one. Evans rips this one. That is fair, caught officially at the 22 by Jaquay Mitchell. 3rd quarter has been an excellent one for Wingate. Throughout the year, they have outscored their opponents 87-23 in this quarter. But right now, this quarter, really the last 2 quarters, have been played in between the 20s. The first quarter, both teams were able to get into the red zone. Whether or not they could find the end zone, that's a different story, but both teams were able to get there. Since that point, defenses have dominated this game.
And the Bulldogs just haven't been very creative in their play calling offensively. You would have think after that quick change of possession, they would have at least tried to stretch the field, get the ball downfield some. They are down 7 points. They're playing as if they're up, actually, or it's a tie game. And right here, Bears going to the ground on 1st down, getting good yardage up the middle. Been a while since they've actually tried inside the tackle runs. They've been trying to get on the edge via jet sweep and toss plays and screens. And now they're back to trying to get some running game behind that offensive line with number 64, Jason Poe, leading the way.
This has been where the Bulldogs have been at their best. They have held Lenoir-Rhyne 2 for 10 on 3rd downs. The Bears hit on 50% of their 3rd downs coming into the day. Here's Willingham, and Gabe Price just clobbers him a yard shy of the sticks. Same guy, Gabe Price, the one who turned him over on downs the last possession.
Gabe Price has really been showing up big time. You saw that he missed the interception in the first half that was gifted to him, and he couldn't bring it in. But since then, he has not let him hold him back. He thought he had him short of the 1st down, but it looks like Willingham just got enough yardage.
He got a fantastic spot. Paid the price for it, too. And he won't take that snap. It'll be Hayden Mann, transferred in from James Madison. Mann is going to throw it this time, and we've got contact and flags. Carter was the intended target, but Matthew Ellis White knocked him down.
And it's a shame, too, because that was not catchable at all. But we have 2 flags.
Yeah,
one at the line of scrimmage.
These could very well be offsetting.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Legal motion on the offense, number 8. Pass interference on the defense, number 3. Those penalties offset. Replay, 1st down.
I think Coach Reich is wanting to know why the play didn't stop right then, back him up 5 yards, and why the play continued.
They usually let those illegal motions and play out after the snap. It's not considered a pre-snap penalty.
Minute left here in a scoreless 3rd quarter. Neither team's really threatened in this quarter. Mitchell able to break to the outside. Ellis White stayed home. Got some help from Elijah Gilmore, number 4. Run a 6.
Same play to the left. that Amin Stevens ran to the right to open the game up. Pulled by Poe up in the middle, a little tight end lead, and this time Wingate's a little bit more hip to it. Obviously, with not as big of a hole as Stevens ran through in the first quarter.
Grayson Willingham gets the play, still 10 seconds on the play clock. And it'll be the jet sweep here to Jaquay Mitchell, and Romario Johnson falls down on top of him and is down. It's a first down run.
Again, attacking the edge. With Mitchell's been by far their best playmaker, the big playmaker. He's ran the ball and caught some big catches, obviously, with the only touchdown so far in today's game.
Sellout here at Moretz Stadium. Over 10,000 people. It is standing room only, and it is heading to the fourth quarter. Winning streaks colliding here. The Bears have won 18 straight in the regular season. The Bulldogs 14 in a row. We've got a 7.
The world's never gotten enough of it. So, we proudly bring you more of it. The new 911. Timeless machine.
Couple of youngsters aspiring to do what my partner Trey Essex did. Play in the NFL. Maybe with the Bengals or the Panthers.
Those are the wrong teams.
College football celebrating its 150th birthday this year. Princeton and Rutgers played in November of 1869. Passion and love for the sport that started then has carried on for generations. College football has provided educational opportunities, inspired future leaders, and enriched our communities. Follow at CFB 150. That's on social media. CFB150.org is the website. Alongside Trey Essex, I'm Darren Goldwater. Here's Derek Young. Big play here for the Bears, and they pick up a first down to begin this fourth quarter. Just the 10th first down for the Bears this game.
Nice little jet sweep and a good lead block. Didn't catch the number there by one of the receivers going low, number 8 with the good block right there, but even before that, nice cut block. Leading the way for Derek Young to pick up that yardage.
Bears show a lot of formations. They do a lot of movement. They'll play a lot of players. Here's Mitchell. Look at that move. A little jump cut to the right and a flag in as well. Elijah Gilmore, number 4, in the middle of it all again.
Got a block in the back. In the interior, you rarely see those called in the interior of the line.
Block in the back. On the offense, number 64. Penalty's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
You rarely see that call within the tackle box. The offensive line, usually if a defender turns their back and they're already engaged with the offensive lineman, that's not considered a block in the back. But we saw something. Jason Poe, the culprit on that penalty.
Poe tried to get down low. That ball's fumbled and picked up by the Bulldogs. Antonio Boo recovers the fumble that was forced by Cal Hanford. Hanford jumped right off the block of Poe, followed the play down, and stripped it free from Willingham.
That was a great defensive play. Poe, one of the best pulling guards in the league, did not get his man on that play. And Hanford able to avoid the cut block and forced to fumble. Look at him pursue down that line of scrimmage, wrapping up Willingham as he tries to turn upfield, and this is the break that this team needed. Look at him posing for the camera. Defense, they deserve it. Finally able to force a turnover. Good field position. What are you going to do offensively?
Well, they're going to give it to their redshirt freshman here for the first carry of the day for Kalen Clark. And Dan Luba broke free to knock him down at the line of scrimmage.
Go ahead and flex on him then, Lula. Number 90 has had a pretty good game himself. No sacks to show for it, but he's been very active, putting pressure on Crocker and the rest of this running back crew.
Been a while since the Bulldogs have really threatened. Here's Crocker now. What a hit! Marcus Rosser with a hit and dislodgement.
They said he held on to it then. It looks like he was bobbling it, and he did. Give McElveen credit for keeping that ball. That was amazing. But yeah, what a hit Rosser put on him. And already 3rd down after the turnover. This Bear defense again showing up in a big way.
4 for 11 on 3rd down. Pressure coming from Lenoir-Rhyne. McElveen tips it in the air, and it falls incomplete.
Oh, Crocker is going to have nightmares with that. Blitz, perfect play call. Not even over the middle. He just throws it too high. For his receiver, he had all the field to work with if he had caught that. Oh, we're going to have nightmares about that play. Those type of plays right there. 6 inches lower, and we have a different ball game.
Both teams had 113 yards on the nose after 1 quarter. And both teams now have about 120 yards since that point in 2 more quarters. So it tells you the defenses have taken over this game, and the Bears are going to start here with a 7-point lead from their own 10 when we get you back to Hickory North.
The world's never gotten enough of it. So, we proudly bring you more of it. The new 911. Timeless machine.
Connect with Division II Athletics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow along, join the conversation as the NCAA promotes national champions in 25 Division II sports. Lenoir-Rhyne had the early lead, kicking a field goal after a 70-yard run from Amin Stevens set him up in position. Wingate came back and answered that. And it was a Grayson Willingham to Jake Quay Mitchell 41-yard strike. That's our only touchdown. Willingham's going to air it out again for Mitchell. Hits him in stride. There goes Mitchell. 90 yards. Another big play for the Bears.
You saw that graphic right before that play. This game has been even throughout. The only difference, that man right there, Mr. Mitchell, with his 2nd big touchdown of the day via the pass. Willingham just airs it out to a speedster. Mitchell brings it in, and he takes it yard for the 2nd time today. You see Willingham just stepping back, plants that back foot, and just heaves it downfield to number 8. And he's faster than everybody else on the field.
Couldn't have put that ball on a tee in a better spot for Mitchell right there.
Right on target.
2 touchdown receptions today for Mitchell have netted 131 yards, 90 and 41 yards.
A little play action, move the pocket a little bit, get Willingham to a nice spot. Plants that foot, heave it to your best playmaker, Jaquay Mitchell, and he does the rest. Making this a 2-score game. And the way this game is going, the inability of Wingate to mount any kind of sustainable drive and put any kind of points into the end zone, that lead is looks pretty insurmountable at this point.
141 total yards receiving and 2 touchdowns from the right arm of Grayson Willingham, who has already shattered the passing touchdown record here at Lenoir-Rhyne and has added 2 more to Mitchell, who has almost doubled his yardage total from a receiving standpoint today and has doubled his receiving touchdown numbers on the year today.
tell you what, before that, Willingham hadn't looked that impressive throughout the game. He's avoided the big turnover up until that fumble, hasn't thrown any interceptions, hasn't been particularly on target with a lot of his passes. But when they've needed him, when number 8 is going downfield and his number is called, he's delivered. And Mitchell has taken advantage and gotten that ball into the end zone.
The one thing that is separating these two programs this afternoon, the big play. That touchdown throw and catch and run, the 41-yarder before it, and the 70-yard run from Amin Stevens on the first offensive play from scrimmage for the Bears that led to a field goal. Here's a dangerous ball that McElveen dives on and saves the day for the moment for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that would have been a nightmare if they did not recover that kickoff. But at this point, I don't think Coach Reich has a choice. He has to go with Crocker. I would like to see Jalen Brooks, number one, their speedster, had a really good catch down the seam earlier in the game that he caught. We haven't seen much of him since then. And I'm telling you, they are primed for the double move right here. That out route is probably the only pass or the most significant pass that they've been able to complete with Crocker and McElveen and Raquan.
Here's Raquan Simmons. First time they've given it to him on the jet sweep that they have faked a number of times, and he picks up 10.
Raquan Simmons, that's their guy. That's their speedster. They can get him on a double move or just some kind of pass play downfield and take advantage of his speed against this Kyle Duggar-less secondary. He might have a chance to make a big play.
Haven't officially announced what has kept Duggar out, but he is not dressed. They do hope to have him back. It is an injury of some sort. They hope to have him back come the playoffs. A dangerous ball. It's Artis again. He's everywhere. If he's not putting you on your back, he's knocking the ball down.
He has had such a big impact on this game. No sacks so far, so his half a sack streak that he has of 16 consecutive games is on the line at this point, but that's his second pass breakup. And when you're not getting to the quarterback and they're trying to get the ball out as fast as they can, that's all you can do as a defensive lineman is get your hands up, man. He's had great timing on those type of plays so far this game.
Yeah, what Trey's talking about, 16 straight games for Artis with at least half a sack. Raquan Simmons can't get around Jackson. Two guys who know each other well, both from Charleston, South Carolina. One played at Fort Dorchester, and the defender Jackson, who's played so well today in place of Kyle Duggar, played at Porter Gap.
He said in place of Kyle Duggar was going to take a committee. I tell you what, between number 11 and number 35, they've done more than an admirable job stepping in for their big-time playmaker. Clayton Horn, responsible for 3 turnovers, getting the ball back to his offense 3 times. And Eric Jackson just being a menace, tackling the ball, being around the ball constantly all game long.
Artis forced Crocker out of the pocket. Crocker wants Simmons, but there was never really an opening there. Ivan Milliken was with him all the way down the sideline.
This Bears defense has just been outstanding in the second half, not giving Wingate anything, even after they turned the ball over. We had a fumble from Willingham earlier in the third quarter. Bears defense again stood up to the test, stopping Wingate and again stopping Wingate this time.
Lenoir-Rhyne isn't certain that Wingate is actually punting this away, so they actually lined up. Mitchell will make that fair catch in traffic, and the Bears are solidly in control. Up 14, less than 11 minutes to go, looking to win there.
The world's never gotten enough of it. So, we proudly bring you more of it. The new 911. Timeless machine.
Bears won a national championship in the NAIA ranks in 1960. They played for a title in 2013. If They get there again this year for the second straight year. The Lone Star Conference hosts it. It's the 2019 Division II Football Championship, December 21st at McKinney ISD Stadium in McKinney, Texas. The hitting continues here for the Bulldogs as Mitchell, the recipient of 140 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, rushes for 4 yards as we get you back.
Number 1, Cam Johnson lays the wood on that play. Heard it all the way up here.
These teams played twice last year. Lenoir-Rhyne won twice. The playoff game was in this stadium. Lenoir-Rhyne trailed with 40 seconds to play and hit on a double reverse pass on a flea flicker to win the game. Each of the last 3 games have been decided by 7 points or single digits. This one seems like it might be by double digits.
Tate Beaver with his first carry of the day. And Wingate was like, no, you probably don't need to carry the ball anymore. They stop him for a loss on that play. And surprise, we got Mitchell lined up in the backfield. Motioning out.
Willingham never looked his way. Instead, he dumps it off to Will Neal. The tight end who leaked out is a half a yard short of the first down.
Like this Bear offense is going to line up. They're really, nope, here comes the punt team. Slow move.
Got to play the field position game up 14 here.
I thought they were just going to go for the jugular right now with 9 minutes left in the game. And with the way their defense has been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But this is the prudent move. Punt it away. Make Wingate drive the field, which they have not been able to do at all.
This is going to be against the Bears.
Full start on the offense. Number 31. Penalties 5 yards. Still 4th down.
Last year's AFCA National Coach of the Year right there, Drew Cronick, has won 20 of 22 games that he has coached here. He lost his first one, and he lost the quarterfinals of the playoffs to the eventual national champ and still current number 1 team in the D2 landscape, Valdosta State. That's it. Line drive punt. Muckelveen takes back at his 18-yard line and manages about 7 on the return. See what the Bulldogs can do with this one. Trailing by 14 midway through the 4th.
The world's never gotten enough of it. So, we proudly bring you more of it. The new 911. Timeless machine.
Sold out crowd here. Gorgeous afternoon for football. And Lenoir-Rhyne is less than 9 minutes away from back-to-back SAC championships. They would clinch at least a share with a victory. It'd be their first back-to-back title since 2013 and 14. Let's see what Shaw Crocker and the Bulldogs can say about it. Downfield to the tight end. Spinning his way down to the 30-yard line. Trevor Grant, the freshman out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, has his first catch of the day.
Where has that been all game? Great protection by this O-line. Again, keeping 32 Artie off the quarterback, which he's been a menace all day long, and able to find a freshman cutting across the field. Trevor Grant with a huge play and timely play to get this offense going in the right direction.
By far, the biggest play from scrimmage today for the Bulldogs. They're going to go downfield again to Simmons. Another catch for Raekwon Simmons. Nets 15 more and back-to-back first downs.
Who is this team? Where have they been all game long? Right here, Crocker looking like he's been doing this all game long. Comfortable in the pocket, delivers another strike to his receiver going across the middle, and that O-line giving great protection once again.
In the red zone for the first time in what seems like forever. That will be a catch there for Muckelveen, blanketed by Milliken.
Those last 3 plays, however, the Bears defense is playing a little conservative, only rushing 3, dropping Crocker too much time. He's going to pick you apart.
Well, how about McNeil? Gets to that second level. Clayton Horn swiping at the ball.
Why not? Only 3 down linemen. Why not run the ball? There's still plenty of time left in this game. 8 minutes left, and I'm not sure if I agree with this strategy by the Bears defense. They've been doing such a great job of pressuring Crocker with 4 down linemen and bringing blitzes in. The last few plays, they've only rushed 3, dropped 8, and Crocker has taken advantage. 2 strikes and then a good run play up the middle.
Here's McNeil. 3 different Bears, now 4 converge. 41 Quentin Hayes got there first.
They have plenty of time, but they don't want to waste too much time trying to get this ball into the end zone. They want to save as much time as possible for a second, possibly tying touchdown drive.
Last year's Offensive Player of the Year in the South Atlantic Conference. The Freshman of the Year, Niger Peoples, is in, but he's blocking as the ball is caught by Muckelveen, who's into the end zone. The first touchdown of the day for the Bulldogs comes with 6:33 left in the game and gets it back to a 1-score margin.
First time all game long we've seen this offense show some life. And in 5 plays, they march down the field and score, mostly on the arm of Shaw Crocker.
They finally hit on a big play.
They did.
A 43-yard pass there to Trevor Grant, who had 45 yards receiving for the year coming in. And big plays have been and continue to be the storyline in this game. Finally, the Bulldogs can notch one in their column.
Right here, nice little overload to the left, to the field. The receiver's able to get leverage. Muckelveen, who's caught a couple of passes, a few big passes today, and able to get leverage on the defender and get that ball just across the goal line.
That stunned this crowd a little bit.
It did.
You could sense the celebration was beginning. But in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, Wingate marched on down the field, sat down this crowd, and is back within 7 with plenty of time left.
In hindsight, it's 2020, but you wonder if they had gone for it on that 4th and 1. Granted, it was on their side of the 45-yard line, but they go for that, have an opportunity to take more time off the clock. I think they were doing the prudent thing. Their defense had been stout all day long, but Wingate was able to drive down using Crocker's arm, who's been very impressive throwing the ball when given the opportunity in this game, and he put it on display that drive.
Derek Young just met Jaquan Edwards. The Bears will start from the 21.
Those type of plays right there, they get the team hype. Your special team is running down there with reckless abandon and making hits like that. The defense usually follows suit. We've seen that time and time again throughout our coverage of this Division II package, Darren. And special teams always is a lightning rod for the rest of this team.
It's going to be Beaver once again. He wiggles his way for about 4.
And you wonder if Lenoir-Rhyne Bears are being a little bit too conservative on that drive before. They were playing basically a prevent defense. just trying to keep the ball in front of them, and Crocker was able to pick it apart. And right here offensively, you see if they're going to relegate to just running the ball inside the tackles, or are they going to try to go for the big play?
Been a very balanced attack for the Bears today. One huge play on the ground and their first play from scrimmage, 2 big ones through the air. Here's Beaver now, and Romario Johnson, the safety, slows the progress, 2 yards shy of the first down. This is one of the biggest plays of the game. 5.5 minutes to go, all the timeouts remaining. 3rd down coming up, where the Bears are 3 for 12 today.
Get a first down here, you're able to take at least another minute 45, 2 minutes off the clock, making it that much tougher for Wingate to tie this game up.
Jet sweep here to Derek Young. He's got the first down, and then he puts the hit onto Matthew Ellis-White. Insult to injury. The Bears out to the 41.
This is a great block by number 45, Stevens, right there. It looked like Gabe Jones reads that right away. Gabe Price, my apology, reads that play. But Stevens makes a block, and Young takes it right up inside that block to pick up that yardage.
Now they can bleed this clock a little bit more. Derek Young is down. It's Robbie Wallace who got in there.
Yeah, just sweep to the left. Young's had some success doing this, but they read it this time. They're starting to read that motion. And dare I say, Coach Cronic is being a little bit predictable in his formations. They've ran that jet sweep quite a few times now, and this Bulldogs defense has gotten hip to it, stopping them right there for a loss.
They're going to throw out of this option. Downfield for Carter, who can't make the play. Oh, so close with Romario Johnson right there with him.
Oh, the negative of that play is twofold. Not only do they get this big play, big yardage downfield and first down, they stop the clock with the incomplete pass. He had it right there in his hands. It would have been a great catch had he caught it. Unfortunately for the Bears, he did not bring it in.
And it's 3rd and 13. Bulldogs bring pressure, and down goes Stevens in the arms of big old Jordan Anderson. And Wingate, I believe, yes, takes their first timeout.
And that's about as conservative as you can get. 3rd and 13. They just want to not turn the ball over, give Wingate any kind of field position right there. They're playing a field position game. Wingate defense, the big stop, and we have a legit opportunity. Wingate Bulldogs are right here in the mix with the possession to go tie this game up, or if you both go for the win.
Wouldn't the Bulldogs love to get one back on the Bears, who scored with less than a minute to go in the playoffs against the Bulldogs on this field last year to end their season. And here are the Bulldogs, who trailed by 14 points with less than 9 minutes to go. They're going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts and what feels like significant amount of momentum for Joe Reich and his team.
That's what you gotta love about the game of football. The tides could shift at any moment. When Jaquay Mitchell scored that touchdown to go up 14 points, it looked like, as the way this game had been going, that it was all but over. The defense for the Bears had been playing lights out, and Wingate Bulldogs had not been able to sustain any type of drive.
Great bounce for the Bears. It skips away from Muckelveen and rolls down inside of the 15. So they've got 86 yards to go in 3:41. for an offense behind the arm of Shaw Crocker that came to life on its last possession.
3:41, 2 timeouts, and a newfound sense of urgency and confidence after that last drive. Right there, you see right there, 4 for 4, 67 yards and a touchdown. See if they put it on the back of Crocker again on this drive.
Crocker gets it out before Artis gets to him, and it's Raekwon Simmons who drags a man for 9 yards.
And what a play right there. He was looking to the left, waiting for one of his receivers to get open, and he sees Artie coming out of his peripheral, and that little bit of a wiggle that he does right there, right here. He steps up, makes him hesitate ever so slightly, gives him just enough time to find his receiver coming out the backfield.
Been a huge game for Raekwon Simmons. Didn't have a catch for a couple of weeks coming in. Out of the reach of Jalen Brooks. It'll be 3rd down and a yard.
See, Brooks kind of stumbled out of his route right there, and you tell Crocker's all about timing. Once that back foot hits, that 3rd step, that ball is coming out, whether the receiver's ready or not.
No Kyle Duggar. All he can do is watch. Future NFL draftee. Crocker's going to throw, and he's got the first down to McElveen. J.P. Palmer, the freshman, there with him. And that quiets this crowd.
McElveen, we were talking about his routes earlier, but he cleaned this one up. Nice slant route right across the face. The safety, J.P. Palmer right there, hanging back probably a tad bit too far. And great timing between Crocker and McElveen on that play to pick up that first down.
Here comes Artis. Crocker spins away and spikes one down in front of Jalen Brooks.
Number 32. Man, he just wrecks havoc all day long. You cannot single block that man. Good job by Crocker, though, being aware and spinning out. The second time today he's been able to avoid a sack with number 32. Looked like he had him dead to rights and gets the ball out and refuses to go down for a loss or a sack on that play.
Bears have alternated between 3 and 4 down linemen. Quentin Hayes, 41, is a lineman standing up. He drops. Here comes Sherrod Williams, and that one's thrown away. It's 3rd down.
It's a good job. They actually used Artie as a decoy on that. He goes upfield as Sherrod Williams blitzes in the B gap, right in between the guard and the tackle. Way to pull down the tackle with him. He comes right off the edge to put pressure on him. He did not see that coming. And Crocker has to get rid of the ball.
They are 4 for 13 in 3rd down attempts today. They got to get to the 45. Here comes Artis. How many times have we said that today? Crocker gets away from home. And Crocker's going to pick up 5 as Artis got him from the back. It's 4th down.
Man, he is relentless. That inside move has been working for him all day long, and Crocker has done a good job of scrambling out of it. Right here. He just had Zy Simpson on skates and goes inside, and Crocker breaks contain, tries to make a play with his legs. You see Artie and number 41, Quentin Hayes, slow to get up after that play.
Hayes popped up not long after. He may have just been exhausted. Wouldn't shock me if Artis is the same.
Yeah, that was a very exhausting play by his part. Bringing 2 blockers, coming around, and then ended up chasing the quarterback down from behind. Jaquan Artis, a.k.a. Artie, has been a terror today. No sacks to speak of, but you can't underestimate the impact that he's had on this game. He has been a terror for this offensive line, for any tackle that he's lined up on.
But he's not on the field for this 4th down play because trainers had to come out and look at him. Elijah Last is 76, the linebacker. First time he's in there. And whistles are blowing. The players don't even hear it. This play is going on with whistles blowing loud. But that's how loud this capacity crowd has been. A timeout for the Bears.
And I wager a timeout to get 32 back into the game.
$1:49 to go.
Perhaps the most important play of each team's season coming up right now, and you definitely want your best players out in the field. You definitely want number 32 already on the field.
If both teams advance to the playoffs, both are in good positions now as the first Super Region rankings came out this week. They are both top 4 in Super Region 2. This game has the importance of not just a potential conference championship, but also seeding come the NCAA tournament time. Last year, the Bears won this conference and played at home when they met Wingate in the playoffs. Valdosta State, the top overall team in the country, they lead Super Region 2. And there's Lenoir-Rhyne and Wingate. So you'll win this game, and if there's another playoff rematch, the winner of this game likely hosts the other one.
Right. Some good teams in that region. We opened the season with Valdosta State and what they've been able to do since Curran Bell went off to South Florida and bring down Gary Goff from Tiffin University, and they have not skipped a beat.
They still haven't lost.
When they got Roland Wells back there, the Harlan Hill Trophy candidate, my vote probably winner if he isn't upended from the running back from from Notre Dame.
Oh, the sophomore, McLaughlin.
He is
leading the country again. He led it as a freshman in terms of rushing yards and is doing it again.
It's not even close.
No. Here's 4th down. So far today, Wingate is 0 for 1 on the year. They are 4 out of 7 on 4th down. The line to gain is the 45. And Artis is being told he can't stay out there.
So he has to miss a play. I did not know that. I thought if you called a timeout,
that's a big loss for this defense on this play. A lot of room underneath here for Crocker. There's a flag in, and Raekwon Simmons, who's the intended target, makes the catch, but we got to check on the flag. J.P. Palmer had as much right to that ball as Simmons did, but what's the flag?
It's all moot. Looks like it's coming back the way this crowd is cheering.
Holding on the offense, number 52. Penalties 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 4th down.
And a holding call. Let's see who they're calling on. I tell you what, we've seen some egregious holding calls not called today, and that one wasn't even close. But he got a little bit of a jersey, and the ref saw it, so.
Here's 4th down. Artis back in. Crocker picked off. Javoris Smith down to the 40. And the Bears are likely to avoid this upset bid from the Bulldogs.
It's 4th and 14, and he does a great job. Shaw Crocker does a great job extending that as long as he can. Tries to go to his receiver that has done well for him so many times already this game, and Javor Smith denies him that opportunity, picking it off and almost essentially sealing this game for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears.
Hey, J-Bo. Going for the sweetness of the honey pot.
I like that. As a fan of Winnie the Pooh, I can appreciate the honey pot.
First Winnie the Pooh reference on air in my career. Well done. Wingate takes the timeout. They do have one more remaining. So the Bears have capitalized on 3 turnovers now. They've got a fumble recovery and an interception, both from Clayton Horn, and now that pick from Javor Smith in front of 10,000 plus. An announced sellout, standing room only crowd for this rivalry game between the top 2 teams in the league, and the way it's been here the last couple of years. And a lot of this goes right back to Drew Cronick and his coaching staff. I promise you there weren't 10,000 people in the stands when they're winning 2 and 3 games the years before Cronick and crew got here.
Right.
But you come in, so far they're unbeaten as a staff at home. They're 11-0. And they've won 20 out of 22 games, and what do you know?
It really galvanized the community. I just got a message from a man by the name of Zachary Derberry, who,
that's a face mask, is clear as day right in front of us.
Right. My man Zach, him and his wife and my wife all went down on a honeymoon in Punta Cana, and he is a 2008 graduate
on the defense
of Lenoir-Rhyne, and he's excited about what Coach Cronick and his staff has been able to do with this football, with this team, with this university, and the community, bringing them all together, and they're very proud of what the Bears have been able to do on the football field.
That penalty allows the Bears to have a fresh set of downs, and now they can just kill this clock. Big plays. Both coaches told us this week who can hit the big plays. It'll be the difference in this game. And it was Grayson Willingham who did that.
Right.
A 90-yard touchdown pass on the money to Jaquay Mitchell. A 41-yarder to Mitchell. And a big 70-yard run to open the day for Amin Stevens. Paved the way for a couple of touchdowns. The Bears will remain unbeaten. They will win their 19th consecutive regular season game and snap the Bulldogs' 14 straight regular season wins. So in the last 16 regular season games, the only team to beat Wingate, the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears.
And irony, Wingate was right there in it, had an opportunity to tie the game up at the end, and previous drive they were able to get some big plays finally going. They were able to put some points on the board. Last drive comes down to a 4th and 4 and a holding call with the Bears' best defensive player off the field, ironically, and that essentially sealed the victory for the Bears.
Joe Reich is out there just looking around for Drew Cronick. I don't see him amongst the crowd either. He's there somewhere. These teams could very well see each other again. Joe found Drew. Told you before, a lot of respect both ways between the two head coaches. And you can see it right there in that conversation.
Right. It's not that little customary handshake and go on to your team. Those guys really have an admiration for one another and what each other has done for their respective programs. And you won't find 2 better coaches at the Division II level than those 2 right there.
The Bears have clinched at least a share of the South Atlantic Conference Championship. Back-to-back titles now for the Bears. That's the
Second time they've done that now. They did it in 2013 and 2014 and have come back here in 18 and 19.
Got a feel for this Bulldog team 3 times in a row now. They fielded some really good teams, and their only losses are to their nemesis 3 times in a row now, to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears.
Division II gives student athletes the unique opportunity to compete in the classroom, on the field, in their community for their causes, most importantly on their terms. It's NCAA Division II football. Make it yours. And our Make It Yours player of the game is number 8, Jaquay Mitchell. Here's the first long touchdown.
Ray Mitchell, in a game devoid of a lot of big plays, he was the only one to come up with 2 of them. Right here, none bigger than this one. 90-yard catch and run with the pass on the money from Willingham. And look at him in stride. Rarely do you see a ball in stride that deep. Usually the receiver's waiting for it, but right there, they were able to hook up for 2 touchdowns, that being the last one, and the difference in this game. Congratulations, Shay Mitchell, for being our player of the game.
What a win for the Bears. Back-to-back weeks they've been pushed, and back-to-back weeks they remain perfect. Division II National Showcase goes to the Bears in front of a sold-out standing room only crowd at Moretz Stadium by a final of 20-13. All games on ESPN are available live and on demand on the ESPN app. For my partner, Trey Essex, and our entire crew, had a lot of fun working with you today. I'm Darren Goldwater. Congratulations to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, back-to-back champs of the South Atlantic Conference.